is it ever in your mind, like you're walking through a room and you're like, yo, if anyone fucks with me, I could totally break your neck?
Yeah, I guess, but
that's fire.
But the thing is, like,
no one could beat the shit out of you.
The thing is, like, I know guys that would like ruin people's days, and they don't look like fighters. So I know that like I could be like looking around, and then if there's just one guy that is just like.
Oh, so you think there's other psychos like you out there?
Like a sleeper, yeah. Yeah, Manny Bermudez, 24. I fight professionally for the UFC.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Hi, my name is Manny Bermudez, and this was my golden hour.
That was. You fucked up.
That was.
Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the 4 deer nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the fire deer attacked. Only Derek, master of all 4 elements, could stop those boys. But when Boston needed him most, he vanished into the enchanted golden deer forest.
Season 4.
The sync is good. So we're mad paranoid about technical shit over here.
Alright, good.
Like insanely. Here, I'll move this over here.
I'm so paranoid about it, though.
Bro, I fucking hate it. It's terrible. So this is how I wanted to start all this. I need you to text my ex-girlfriend so we got some pro athletes on the show. Alright?
Oh no.
Tell her to know what's up.
Oh no.
For reference, you might just have to kind of hover the mic a little bit. Just like on top.
Like here?
Yeah. Is that uncomfortable for you?
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's perfect.
And Adam, we'll do simultaneous breaks. Check the video, check audio. But also how I want to start is, hey, you got to swing up. We do it every time, man. Come say hi.
Milo, good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys had a good St. Patrick's Day. We here. Yeah.
Oh, so do you not like when I call you Adam on camera?
Oh, no, it don't matter. Whatever.
Adam. Let's see. Oh, no, he's lying. He hates
He didn't respond.
He glared at me.
It's his alias. Well, that's what we were talking about, bro. He has no social media. There's something like very mystique about that nowadays.
Oh, he has he's doing the thing where like if you cheat on your girlfriend, you're like, it wasn't me because like I don't have a
exactly. There's no evidence.
What are you talking about? They'll hit me up.
So to my right, I have a young man I just met. And I have an extreme amount of admiration for what you've been doing, man. Manny Bermudez, bro. Thank you for coming.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me.
100%. So listen, I think most people who tuned in, because I asked everyone to ask us questions, they probably already know kind of what you do. But do you want to just give a little synopsis about like who you are and what's been going on? Now, do you mind if I swing this way? Because we'll probably be facing each other.
Whatever you want.
Just probably like this.
Like that? All good?
Good to go.
So, yeah, Manny Bermudez, 24. I fight professionally for the UFC.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. I've done it for 11 years. Trained at Sideshow Sport Fighting down in Rockland, Mass. And, I'm undefeated. Like I said, I'm undefeated pro. I went 7-1 as an amateur and then 14-0 as a pro.
Fire.
Yeah. I think
so dope.
My win streak right now is 14 plus 6.
Let's
so,
go.
So
on a roll, bro.
20 fights in a row.
Yeah. Well, so that was one thing. Like, I feel like you're at a point, and totally test me if I'm wrong here, but like, I'm 23. Okay. We're like the same age. You're like you're living your dream right now. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. But I also feel like I don't know. Like if I wasn't doing this, like I don't know what I'd be doing.
Holy shit!
It's like one of those things where it's like
you have to do it.
Yeah. I like doing it. I have to do it. But like if I didn't have this, I'd be kind of completely unsure what I'm doing in my life. You know.
Well, you've been fighting your whole life, right?
Yeah, I've been training since I was 13. So I mean, I guess all my teenage life.
Well, I saw you went to school at a certain point.
I went to Bridgewater for a little bit.
Oh, how much do you hate it?
Oh my god, it was not for me. It wasn't for me.
Go Bears!
Go BSU Bears. No, I don't even want to drop their names though. But
bro, I really hated academics too. Yeah, terrible. Well, was your career budding when you were there?
Yeah, but like I was kind of through. I was going. 'Cause you can only fight when you're 18 in mass, pro-am, or at least as far as they told me. And then I had my first amateur fight when I turned 18, and then
So were you a freshman at BSU then?
yeah. So I was like fighting people, and then like going to class, and like it's just
Mad
tough.
weird balance.
It is because you would go off, and then you'd have like the high of like like you just fought in a cage, just beat somebody, you choked them out, and then you come back to school, and then like in school you're just like
You're like looking at a textbook.
You're not that like I'm good at fighting. I suck at school. So then like
I know.
So I would go from the high of fighting to like the low of like a teacher's like, hey, what's the answer to this question? And I'm sitting there looking at this problem with like my brain just like completely on like fry mode, and then like this kid next to me like that. Like from talking to the kid, I'm like, this kid's an idiot.
Yeah.
But like the teacher asked him something, and then the kid just like whips up like like some equation.
I know it's wild though,
You
because you're also like, holy shit, I'm in school and like I feel like it's making me feel terrible about myself,
Yeah, it makes you feel
and I'm
stupid.
so good at this other shit.
Yeah, definitely. And then like I think the classes I was taking too, I'm not very good at math. I'm not good at like calculus,
English, history.
Yeah, nothing like that. But especially math though, and I took like calculus like 3 times or something like that, and it was just
Oh, you failed it twice?
yeah. I hope my mom doesn't listen to this one though.
Holy shit. So you completely dubbed school, right? I mean, for good reason, obviously, but
Yeah, I kind of like walked away after.
what, just 2 semesters or?
So I was there for 5 years.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So you just recently left?
Like a year-ish ago, yeah.
Wow.
So I think it was the winter of last year. Like that was my last. That was the end of my last semester, and then I got picked up by the UFC in February. So it was.
So your pro career is going on this whole time as you're going to school.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
shit!
So that's why it's crazy too, because then like I'd be in class, and then like next weekend I have to go to like Mohegan Sun and go fight somebody, or like I have to go to like just somewhere like wherever.
So were you ever at a point like, yo, I'm just blatantly wasting my time?
Yeah, every single day.
So do you feel pressure from your mom to be there? Or like?
I mean, like they're right, because it's like you need a backup. You obviously need a backup, but like.
But you and I both know you don't really need a backup, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like in case, because you can never tell when you're gonna get hurt. You don't know.
True.
Injuries, stuff like that. A lot of guys have to cut their career short. Way before you would think they'd have to. There's that boxer Pritchard Cologne. He was, I think, hit the wrong way and then like stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. He's paralyzed.
So that's in the back of your head sometimes.
No, but I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's not like I don't wake up and like go in the cage being like, oh my god, like I could like.
I'm about to be like a paraplegic after this. You can't think like that, right?
Same thing happens. You're gonna cross the street and a car hits you. Like, you're not thinking.
I mean, yeah, you're probably more prepared in the octagon than getting hit for a car.
Yeah, and I think that's better because it's like, all right, like you get your medical staff there, the UFC, like, you go in the back, you don't realize how many doctors they have in the UFC in the back room. All guys that like just really, really good doctors. I ended up going to get I had to go see a
CAT scan?
So I got a CAT scan, then had to go see a neurologist just for a follow-up. And then the neurologist that I went to was over in Dedham, and it turns out he was the same one that like, goes around and helped out with the UFC when they're around here too. So it's cool. They have a tight network of people.
So why did you get an MRI? You got hurt in the head?
No, it's
CAT scan, excuse me.
You need to get one just to get licensed. So.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so like to get your professional fighter's license, you need blood work, you need just a regular physical, you need CAT scans.
Criminal background. Does it matter? I was gonna say Kimbo Slice definitely wasn't fully legal, bro. He definitely had something under his belt.
The UFC, I assume they don't want you having like anything active, especially, but
it's for entertainment value. You feel me? Some of those dudes aren't. Did you ever see any of Kimbo Slice's like his street fights?
His old fights, yeah. Jorge Masvidal, he had one too. There was a fight with Jorge Masvidal where he's he's got like a little man bun thing, and he's just bare knuckle fighting. Kimbo's in the background.
Wow.
And then,
where's this, in Florida?
Yeah, somewhere down there.
Those shits were wild, bro.
Yeah, and then you know, Jorge just fought this weekend and knocked out Darren Till. Like
That's wild.
And then he went.
What's his weight class?
85, I think.
Word.
185. And
What's that, light heavyweight?
That's all the heavier weights sound the same to me.
Yeah.
It's
That's a different world from you, right?
Yeah, middleweight or something. But and then he got into a fight in the back room too with Leon Edwards.
A real fight.
Well, he punched him 3 times, so yeah, I guess that's a real fight.
A lot of testosterone going on in those UFC camps, man.
Well, I think it's just Jorge. I think he's just like
Fucking tough.
He's not even like crazy persona, but it just seems like he'll hit you if worse comes to worse. So.
Have you ever seen that? I didn't want to really get into UFC drama, but I think it's hilarious. Have you ever seen that ESPN? It was like Cormier and it was John Jones.
Think I'm gonna let you kill me?
He's like, I'm gonna come over there and spit in your face. He's like, I will literally kill you. I will kill you. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
That shit is hilarious,
because it looks like this, and so they're just like sitting there like this, and he's like, you know, I'll kill you, right?
They're in rooms like right next to each other, doing like a press conference.
And he's like, I'm not just gonna let you kill me.
I know. He was like, no, he's like, I will literally kill you.
Yeah.
He's like, no cameras, anything. He's like, you are a sick human, John.
Yeah.
You're the scum of the earth, man.
Yeah, and then he gets knocked out.
I know. That was a while.
Oh my god, he could have killed him.
Literally.
Right?
Is it weird for you now? Like, because we're like the same age. Like, I can only imagine, like, I reach certain points in my career and like you look up to all these people and now you're like, holy shit, like I'm in the same league as these fucking dudes.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
Like they become your competition out of nowhere.
So just the other day I did a podcast with Dennis Bermudez, and Dennis Bermudez was a guy I was watching.
Unrelated to you?
Unrelated to me, but the reason I watch him all the time is because we have the same last name.
Mm-hmm. Where's he from?
I think he's in New York.
Where?
New York right now. But
hey, cousin Danny.
Well, and that's what the podcast became, like like just us.
Are we related, bro?
Yeah, family dinner jokes and all that stuff. But so I used to watch him when I was growing up, and then because like whenever you play the video game or whatever,
mm-hmm.
like you just make a guy and use his last name because it's in the system.
Yeah.
And then and then.
What Manny's referring to is like they'll give you a set last name when you create a player, and so Bermudez was already in the system.
Yeah, and then so like you'd fight with them, and they go, oh, Bermudez hits a leg kick, Bermudez does this, Bermudez does that, and you're like, oh, look, I'm in the UFC, and so then and it was cool too because he actually hit me up to be on the show, on the podcast. So it was like, wow, it's so weird because I've been watching him fight for so many years, and now like he's hitting me up to be on his thing. And then we're talking on because we did over the phone, and they're talking to me as if he like knew me forever, and it's just crazy. And I saw him fight too in Brooklyn. That was his last fight. So it's like my career starting up as his.
Are you guys the same weight class?
No, he's up one to 45.
So maybe I mean specifically like you've grown up. Where were you fighting? Was it Cage Titans at Plymouth?
Yeah, Cage Titans.
Did my research, man, huh? I was on it.
Yeah, I think I fought like 16, 17 times for Cage Titans.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're like coming up, like you're like young. You look up to a dude like, is it TJ Dillashaw's like top of the league right now?
Yeah.
So are you like, would you look up to a guy like that and now it's like, holy shit, I'm like, now I'm not really just this kid anymore. I'm like kind of in this bitch.
Well, I did an interview with Dominic Cruz because right before you go out and fight, he commentates for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So the commentators all sit in a room, and then you go in, and then they talk to you, just get to know a little bit more about you. And so Dominic, he was
I'm just gonna turn it. As you can tell, we have a pretty professional setup here.
Yeah. so Dominic was talking to me for a little bit, and then I looked at Dominic and I was like, Dom, I've been watching you fight, for forever, and so.
Is it like starstruck? Like, what does it feel like?
It's not even starstruck. It's it's like respecting. You just go, I've watched you for a long time, and so
now I want to choke the fuck out of you, bro.
Well, and so I mean, it's the thing. You're measuring them too, though, because
you're sizing them up.
Yeah, sizing them up a little bit. But John Anik goes, he's like, you hear that? He's calling you old, and then for a second, I'm like looking at John Anik, like thinking he's is trying to start something, you know, not like seriously, but I don't think he like
There's
understood.
banter. Yeah.
Just like little banter. But like Dom like knew where I was coming from. He's like, no, like he means that he's watched me fight for a while and it's a respect thing. And then, you know, and like at first Dom didn't seem too like personable or you know like
He was abrasive,
a little icy. But then after that, he was asking me questions. He was super nice, and it's cool now because he's asking me about what I think about excuse me, about kids coming up now and what.
but you're still on the come up though, right?
Yeah, but they're asking me about like how many fights amateur do I think most guys need or have and all that, and he's like sincerely interested in my question, in my answer, because when he grew up he didn't have amateur careers. They went straight to pro.
That's the weirdest shit that's like going on right now. I see like there's a dude, shout out to Tarek. He's
Go Tarek.
yeah, go Tarek. He's Israeli.
Okay.
He's like my buddy, and so like they really love the UFC.
Yeah.
And so he was saying like the sport has shifted so much because these amateur fighters and people growing up and fighting are learning a much more evolved version, especially of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And so there's more of like a maturation process going from amateur to pro. Is that right?
Yeah. So what's important is, number one, like your ability to compete. So if you've never competed before, it's like if somebody told you to go on stage and tell jokes, you're gonna get nervous, and and then it's a whole nother level when it's like you're going on stage and now somebody's trying to kick your ass in front of everybody. You're in your little shorts, like, so somebody's out there trying to take your head off, and then adrenaline can get to you. So the other part of that is some guys wrestle, some guys box, some guys
they have their specialty,
but they did it to a high level, so they've actually competed before. So like a kid that wrestled for college, if you wrestled like
Dillashaw wrestled in college, right?
Yeah, and so those guys are used to going out every weekend compete against a guy that's trying to beat you at what you guys are doing.
For sure.
So a sport like that is really good for you because you end up getting used to the competition. But now if you're a kid that grew up just doing MMA, never wrestling, never like boxing, like at least traditionally,
you can't really practice fighting in a competitive environment, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you haven't competed that much, that's what amateurs I think are for, to get used to competing.
Word.
To get you can take a loss there and then it gets erased from your pro record. Like, so I think amateurs are important to help kids. You start off their careers knowing what to expect.
So when did that start for you?
Like I said, my first amateur fight was when I was 18. So,
and you have to. So can you just explain the designation between amateur, like what an amateur fight is an amateur league?
So amateur is basically,
just for reference, I'm only asked this because, like, as you know, you're from where, Attleboro, South Attleboro?
I'm from Abington.
Abington. Whoa, curveball.
Yeah, other side. But
and you fought where? South Shore?
My gym's South Shore Sport Fighting.
Okay, word.
And then most of my fights were in Plymouth and all that.
Word. Yeah, well, I mean, just growing up, like Massachusetts youth sports is like traditionally soccer or basketball, a little bit of Pop Warner.
South Shore was a lot of football, lacrosse was kind of big.
Lacrosse started booming.
Not Abington, but a lot of schools around us did like hockey, and I was never good.
Yeah, so you were probably like one of one growing up doing this, right?
Yeah. I had some classmates that dabbled in it. I was one of the few that like stuck with it hard. And there was kids older than me that I train with still to this day that stayed consistent with it too. So
how did you have access to that so young?
So for me, it was I just wanted to train. Like I knew I wanted to do some sort of individual sport. I didn't want to do like a team sport. I'd been playing soccer, and soccer was tough because you would play awesome and then like still lose a game, or you'd play horribly and then win a game, and then like in your head you're like,
you couldn't dictate everything yourself.
Yeah, or at least take the responsibility of winning or losing. Like, so it's difficult to go out there, play your hardest, and then lose as a team. I knew a sport like this, all the pressure's on you, and I don't know. I mean, I was 13, so I don't know that I knew it was going to be concussions and injuries and all that. So like I'm sure like all that was something in my head, but I was so young I didn't realize it was like a real thing. And now you go out to UFC, and then like if you're backstage, you see, like, especially in the UFC, because all those guys are killers. Like guys walk in one way, and then they walk back into the locker room looking completely different. Like,
misfigured.
Yeah. Like I was in the locker.
You haven't been touched yet, right?
No, I was in the locker.
I pray for you, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't even know how to do that, but so like I was in the locker room with Renan Barao, who I grew up watching. He fought T.J. Dillashaw. He's a legend, and he doesn't speak a lot of English or anything like that. But
where's he from?
Brazil.
He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Jiu-jitsu guy with good striking. He was like Jose Aldo's training partner. I think he did a lot of sparring, so I think he got a little chinny. But he so he walked out. He looked pretty good in the fight, and then like towards the end, he just got caught or whatever. He comes back in the locker room. He's got like a huge like ice pack on his leg. He's like taking the ice pack, putting it on his chin, and he's got like a black eye. All that
and had you fought previously on this card?
No, so I was just waiting for me to fight.
Oh, so you were like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it wasn't really like that, just because I've fought so many times that I've seen it all. Like, I think one of the few times where it was kind of like, all right, here we go, was when I was fighting in Plymouth, and for some reason, everybody was getting like hurt,
lit up. Yeah,
everybody was getting hurt, and like the very first fight, this kid got like his leg like completely like just kicked apart. And then like so
Jesus.
It's just like welts and stuff like that. But I'm in the background. I'm looking at the knots on this kid's leg, and I'm like, well, dude, those are some big knots.
Holy shit.
And then this girl got cut, and that was one of the last fights in the card. So
this is when you were coming up there, giving you like a better slot every time.
Yeah. So I was in the back room, and then for some reason the doctor wanted to stitch her up right where I was warming up. So she had a huge like laceration over her eye.
Yeah. So does that like break your focus? Or you like, fuck, man? Like this is so gory. I'm about to go out here. I can't really be that intense because this could be my reality.
No, because
you're so fucking animal.
No. Their fight doesn't really relate to mine,
Yeah.
So as long as I feel good about my fight, it's not something that I'm gonna be, because I mean you never know, you could get cut. But
I feel like that probably matured over time for you though, right?
Yeah. And like
you start getting used to shit.
Yeah, and like cuts. I mean, cuts suck, but they're not like. I mean, as long as like I don't want to see my like skull or something like that, but like I feel like cuts are not super damaging. It's all just skin, and that heals back up. I think even worse is like something that can affect your brain. Like if you get kicked in the ribs.
Yeah. So like if you were to see like, you remember when fucking Paul George snapped his leg?
Who?
Paul George, the basketball player.
Oh, I don't really.
You don't watch. Or like you see like Kevin Ware. Have you ever seen those? Well, they're like gruesome ass injuries.
They're all super tall, skinny dudes, and the legs are just
yeah, and their tibia just snapped.
Right? That's what I'm picturing. Yeah, and that's
yeah. But is that tough for you to watch that shit?
I don't like watching that stuff.
Okay, all right. Like, look at it intently. This is fire. This is fire.
It grosses me out for sure. But
that doesn't really happen in the octagon though, right?
Anderson Silva, that happened to him.
Did he kick someone and broke his own leg?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and. Yeah, that was disgusting. Well, he like kicked somebody, it snapped, like wrapped around the guy's leg. He pulled it back and tried to step back on it.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
But no, I know they freeze that online a bunch where like the impact you can see his leg curve.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. And
so do you train for that? Like this is how to avoid something like that? You can't really, right?
No, because I mean, like Anderson's been kicking stuff his whole life, so he must have shins of steel, and it's still broke.
Just what you signed up for, kind of.
That's just the bad luck of it. But luckily, you don't see that many of them. For one fight card, there's, we'll say 20 fights. It's 40 fighters, and X amount of cards that they have. You really don't see that too often. Anderson was the last notable one that I can think of off the top of my head, and that was years ago now.
You know the picture I'm talking about? Pretty wild.
Yeah, when it wrapped around it, yeah.
So gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, ugh. But
so you have never experienced some like really bad injury?
I mean, there's a couple. Like you popped an elbow out, popped my jaw out.
Your jaw?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that like?
It was not fun. Like I caught an elbow, and then and this was in training. Caught an elbow, and then just out of instinct, just grabbed it again, and it just pops back in.
Was it insane pain?
Yeah, it sucked. But I was eating soup for
oh my
a
god,
couple weeks. But and the thing, it was just click, and then just clicks back in. I'm like, oh.
Holy shit. Well, that's what happened. So I tore my labrum.
Yeah.
And it's it popped out, and then your instinct when you feel something pop out, the human instinct is to pop it back in, but it hurts so much more popping back in.
Yeah. Well, and then the thing, so after you pop it back in, it feels fine, but there was just swelling, and then the swelling after is what made me not able to move my mouth, not open it, not close it. But it's not. I wouldn't say that's the worst injury. I think the worst one was I popped my elbow out, and I think my doctor said it dislocated and then ripped a couple ligaments, and then I had to do an MRI on it, and they wanted me to completely extend my arm, but the swelling kept me, so I couldn't even unbend it from this 90-degree angle. And so then they put a pillow on the end of my hand and tried to keep extending it. And with an MRI, I guess you have to be super still the whole time. And then I kept moving just because, So you had
to keep redoing the MRI.
So bad, yeah. And they were mad at me because of that. And I'm like,
what do you want from me?
Yeah, what do you want me to do? You try this.
So is that, and you caught all these injuries in training?
Most of them, yeah. Yeah, I think I cracked a rib once in a fight, but
have the injuries in training ever fucked up the fight?
Yeah, I fought one guy with basically no hands, because I don't know if you can see it. I had messed this hand up right there.
It looks fucked. And, for reference, if you're listening.
Yeah. So I punched.
Oh Jesus, fuck,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, I punched an elbow, and then and I kept going in it literally a week or two before. I didn't know if I was fighting because it hurt so bad, and then this hand, there's a ligament that goes over your knuckle.
Dude, your hands look so fucked up.
Yeah. So
Dude got brick hands, bro.
So I punched a kid, and then the ligament snapped over my hand, and I guess just rolled up right there, and then So I had no hands basically. And
this is a pro fighter or an amateur?
This is a pro one. So I was fighting this guy who was pretty good too. He was 16 and 6 or something like that.
This was pre-UFC?
Yeah, pre-UFC. And this was up a weight class and all that. And
so you're just yo, I'm just gonna fucking sack up and fight this dude? Or
well, I was asking my coach. I was like, listen, if you think I could win this fight with basically no hands, I'll take the fight. But if you don't think I can, then I might have to pull out. And he goes, no, he had faith in me, and that's me and him have had a really good relationship.
Yeah, I was seeing that in another interview. Usually, you say he usually has odds on the fight, and you usually take it into account, right?
Yeah, well, I always ask him if you think I'm gonna when I would get super nervous, fighting locally and all that, I would turn around, look at my coach, and be like, do you think I'm gonna win the fight? And if he always gives me a real answer, and if he says yes, then it's all right.
Well, did he ever say no, bro? Aren't you undefeated?
No, he hasn't said no.
He's just doing reverse psychology on you, bro.
Yeah, he's just training me, Pavlov or something.
Or what was Tyson's coach name?
Oh,
Customato.
Customato, yeah.
Bro, that dude Customato grilled it in Tyson when he was young. He was like, "You are the best.
Yeah.
You are the world champion." He's like, "Thank you, appreciate it."
Yeah. But he hey, so I've
It's still your coach, right?
Yeah, he's still my coach.
What's his name?
Bill Mahoney.
Shout out to Bill.
Shout out to Bill. And so I do have a good connection with him, and if he says you're gonna win the fight, I just trust in him. And for that fight, and there was one other fight where I had I don't know if it was a flu or what, but I didn't feel right for months after, and I would show up to the gym and then just hit the bag 3 times, and then just basically almost pass out.
Dude, you live a fucking insane life.
Yeah, but
So do you ever feel you're just normal?
Oh man,
I don't either, to be honest with you.
That's one of those. So I usually
that's mad disrespectful.
No, so I never I really had a lot of time between fights when I was fighting locally, and so I would be cutting weight kind of a lot, And whenever I cut weight, you can see it in my cheekbones. My cheekbones kind of sink in. And I was miserable like all the time, but but then like people would, then for the UFC you get a little bit more time between fights, so I eat more, get a little more weight, and then
But then you just gotta flush it all out, right?
well, yeah, you cut the weight again, but so like now like sometimes I get like sometimes I get like a little bit more like meat on my face or like a little belly or whatever, and then people like, oh man, you're getting fat, right? But then people are like, oh no, you're not like fat, but like
For
you look healthy, you look normal. And then I'm like, wow. So for all those years, like when I was cutting to to fight consistently, I was just like super like malnourished.
Dude, that cutting shit is unbelievable. Yeah. So when you walked in, you might be, what are you, like 5'10", 5'11"?
5'10".
Are you like UFC 5'10" or are you actually 5'10"?
I'm 5'10".
So you like tell girls you're 6 feet?
Yeah. No, I'm 5'10".
Okay.
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, I'm 6'6".
I don't lie.
You don't need to. You're a pro athlete, bro.
Check Instagram.
But so you have to cut to 135.
Yeah.
Dude, that is like an insane disproportion, bro.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks really
So
bad.
right now, how much you weigh? Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you like 158?
170.
You have to cut 35 fucking pounds, bro?
Yeah.
What so when does that start before a fight?
So hopefully they tell me, like 8 weeks out or something like that, and then
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. And so whenever I start getting the feeling that I'm, like when we start talking about like, oh, like they're looking for somebody for you for this day or that day, that's when I'll start being like, okay, like let's just like start eating more cleaner, like you just be more careful about the weight, just because 8 weeks is enough time to do it, but it still sucks.
Dude. So that's a question, like you train at 170, right?
Yeah. So when I start getting in shape, I think I'm like 165.
I mean, but you're always training regardless, right?
Yeah, but like I mean like now like I'll go to the gym and I'll be like, oh, I don't really have to go too hard or take it easy on my body. Yeah, it's just going through the motions, learning stuff. It's not anything too crazy right now.
But is it weird? It's like, yo, like you train, like let's say you train like 165, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a different human when it's like about time to fight, because you're fighting with a totally different body?
No, because so a lot of the cutting I do is just water, so my last fight I only cut 12 pounds. I missed weight, but I only cut 12 pounds.
You were pissed?
Yeah. Well,
that's a pay cut, right?
Yeah, it's a 30% they hit me with. But,
was it a 50 rack payout?
It was no, they hit me with
you don't want to talk about the business?
Yeah, but I mean they took $5,000 off me. So, but
and is it like frowned upon to miss weight?
Oh my god, everybody's on my
Everyone
Instagram
was shitting on you.
Everybody's on my Instagram talking shit about me.
Fuck you, haters.
Well, no, but they're like, oh my god, how could you miss weight? How could you miss weight? I'm like, bro, like, do you like food? Then shut up.
You were just dead ass starving yourself for weeks, right?
Yeah, you're just starving yourself, and then
did you know going up? You're like, holy fuck, I'm probably gonna miss this.
So I know I was gonna miss it, but I know I'm never gonna have an easy weight cut to 35. I just went down to the Performance Institute, and so after a week of like eating like crap and because that was like I fought on a Sunday or a Saturday.
You're talking about the most recent fight?
Yeah, and then
the Benito Lopez choke out?
Yeah, the Benito Lopez one. And then I went to Vegas for a bit, and then I saw the guys at the PI on the next Saturday, and we took like some body mass like test.
Was it a DEXA scan?
Yeah, DEXA scan, and then they said that I was 170 and like 10% body fat. Like
a week after the fight?
Yeah, but a week of like eating like crap and drinking like crap too, and so it was like they said that it was like it was never gonna be an easy cut for me. Like even if I diet well, like
this is always gonna be hard as fuck.
Always. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but.
So do you feel like you have to go up a class?
No, I don't think so. I think if I'm smart with how I do things, like I'll be fine here.
I believe in you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be miserable half the time, but I'll do it.
So what is that when you're cutting? So mind you, I'm like kind of a nutrition freak myself. So like you're 170. So at maintenance, right now, and your metabolism's probably fast as fuck. But you probably eat what, like 2,700 calories a day?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. So I don't really keep track.
You
of
don't give a fuck because
right
you don't know
now.
if a fight's coming.
I'm not fighting right now, so.
So it's not some shit you
But
can maintain.
It sounds about right though. It sounds about right.
So then at a cut, what are you eating, like 1,800 a day?
Depends where in the cut we're at. When I'm getting closer to, you know.
You microcycle, right?
Yeah. So when I go closer to.
You can take that off, bro. No worries.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do we have the remote? Because I want to put on some James Bond in the bag. I wonder. We put on. I think it's on the ledge, bro. No, you don't have to pause it. It's fine. You see the remote? Yeah, no worries. Oh wait, is that it up there? Yeah, can you grab that for me?
This one here.
Thanks, bro. That's not it, right? That's the lights.
That's a jewel.
not like his. Have you seen his cloud as the smoke come in?
Yeah.
Can you check under the shirt?
The ambiance. I'll spit my gum out too.
Yeah, take your time, bro.
Is that trash?
Yeah, right in the corner. You can get up, bro. Let's definitely get Bond on. Pretty wild. Whatever, fuck it. Is it under those things? No. Yeah, bro. If you ever have to pitch, you can check your phone, bro. I don't mind. I wanted to say is I feel like Joe Rogan. I had to prepare for an MMA guest. You watch Joe Rogan at all?
Oh yeah, I watch him. Actually, yeah.
His MMA show?
Yeah, I watch it a lot less now, but
coming up, I'm sure you saw his fighters on the show and shit.
Yeah. I mean, when it's an interesting guest, I'll watch it. I just feel like I've watched it so many times. I kind of get the formula of it.
He's blowing though. Like recently, he's been having killer ass interviews.
Well, he's blowing up too. I think he's just getting more people that want to go on the show. Like, was he supposed to have Kanye on or something?
That would be mega. He was saying like he has to like sit down with Kanye and like get to know him for a couple of weeks.
But yeah,
Kanye's like, we're gonna do this the right way. He's fucking tapped.
I'm pretty sure that they like actually like were trying like getting an interview set up or something.
No, exactly. They are.
Oh, okay.
Kanye is like, I think this is gonna be totally major, bro. It's gonna be awesome because they're two like very profound thinkers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Say it again. Yeah, he had it. Did you see that?
Yeah. Which one?
His most recent one. He had one, like,
oh my god, that was nuts.
He was like, I'm taking you to the furthest point north. You're going to the center of the earth. He's like, I got a 50-ton cruise ship.
What's the craziest shit that's ever happened on your show?
There's been some wild shit, bro. There's been some episodes I can't air because people show way too fucked up.
Oh, really?
People they've come up off pills. Some of people's favorite artists have come up here, and then I can't press it later because it's been tough.
Really?
A lot of names here, though, huh?
Yeah.
You'll sign it afterwards, bro.
Yeah, well, I was looking to see if there's any I recognize.
There's athletes wise. We had the Mass Pirates. They're like the brand new arena football team up, and then I think we got a kid from BC coming up soon.
Nice. But yeah, so and any crazy stuff that you can tell us or no?
Well, yeah, a dude passed out. Like he was so high, you like fell asleep in the chair.
Maybe just boredom. Maybe it's the
maybe I'm just a fucking idiot.
No, maybe it's the way the voice sounds in the headphones.
Oh, it's soothing.
You got the David Allen Boucher.
Bedtime magic. Did you grow up listening to Magic?
And my parents would always put on the car, and I hated it.
You hated it.
Yeah, it's just like
so boring. Yo, was Abington mad boring?
Yeah.
I grew up in Lincoln. It's similar to Abington.
Yeah, they sound similar.
They sound whack, bro.
Abington and Lincoln, yeah. No.
Terrible.
Can't wait to go to Lincoln.
Let's go play in some fields, man.
Yeah. They have farms up there.
Yeah, it's literally a farm town.
Yeah, it sounds like one, right? You see pegged it.
How big is Abington?
Not big. It's next to Brockton. It's next to Weymouth. So
there's
some big towns next to it, but it's just like a little quiet neighborhood. Nothing crazy happens there.
Do you rep Boston?
I'm from Boston, yeah.
So you rep Boston, yeah. Like, you kind of have to when you're overseas and shit.
Yeah, I'm not like anti, because I mean, if I don't go, hey, I love Boston, like nobody's gonna like me. So.
Well, no, I mean like if someone's like, yo, where are you from? You say Boston, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because nobody knows where Abington is. So.
Can Dana White see right through you? He's like, I know you're not from Boston, man. You're from Abington.
I haven't even brought it up to him. I just Hey,
It's
dude,
like,
you know,
hey,
pay
thanks
me,
for the
please.
contract, man.
And don't forget me. He goes, where's Connor? I think Connor was actually in Boston.
Yeah, he
last
was
night.
at the parade.
Yeah, people were hitting me up telling me he's gonna be here, he's gonna be there. I was like,
You hit him up to train with him. That'd be fire.
yeah. I think he's is he fighting again? He's talking about fighting Cerrone, right?
You would know more than I would, bro.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Cowboy Cerrone. I don't know if you know who that is.
I binged as much UFC as I could before.
Yeah, that's all good. But
I know that.
so how much money would it take for you to fight like a Conor McGregor?
Like me versus McGregor.
You right
so
now?
me just like totally get my face mutilated.
Maybe. Maybe get lucky.
I mean, dead ass for promo, probably like $15, bro. I'm saying the podcast's gonna blow up. We'd be straight, bro.
But like, what if it's actually? Yeah, you'd probably blow up regardless, right?
Yeah.
What about me? You and me have to fight.
I was gonna say, do you ever walk around and you're like, holy shit? You look at people like, yeah, I could choke the fuck out of this person and kill him.
And kill him. I don't think about killing him.
I was gonna say you're mad nice. You're a mad nice dude, but it's very instinctual to size dudes up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you. I feel like everybody does it, but like if you're out somewhere and somebody's just being too loud and you just like
At a bar or some shit.
or like somebody starts talking crap to you. Like there was one day this kid started talking crap to me and he came up to me, but he had like a baby face, you know, like little baby.
Where's
nose,
this?
like,
In Boston?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but he's got like a little baby nose. He's got like a tiny little chin, like
And you're just like, wait, you just want to snap his neck.
and this was like a week after I had just like like punched somebody and choked him out, like in a fight.
Why was he chirping you?
I don't know. He was being rude to the bartender, and then
you said something.
yeah. Well, I just like said like an aside, and then he was just like.
Well, that's the craziest thing about like one, your frame, and like two, your presence. Like you're not really. That don't seem like an aggressive dude. So no one could know that you're just a fucking killer.
Well, no, I'm not an aggressive dude at all, and you know, like if I say something, it's usually just to make me laugh more, more to make you fight me. But yeah, I don't really do street fights or
I was gonna say
confrontation and all like that.
But is it in your mind sometimes? Like, mind you, I consider myself to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a trained fighter, but like I am kind of an aggressive dude. Is it ever in your mind like you're walking through a room and you're like, yo, if anyone fucks with me, I could totally break your neck?
Yeah, I guess, but
that's fire.
But the thing is, like,
no one could beat the shit out of you.
The thing is, like, I know guys that would like ruin people's days, and they don't look like fighters. So I know that like I could be like looking around, and if there's just one guy that is just like.
Oh, so you think there's other psychos like you out there?
Like a sleeper, yeah. Or like even just like if you see like a 6'4" dude with like huge muscles, I'm gonna be like maybe not that guy.
Yeah, but you would just get him in the Bermudez Triangle, man.
Yeah, but like he clips you once, and then it's like it's a different ball game. But still.
How does that work, bro? So your finisher move is the Bermudez Triangle. And you're also finisher, your nickname is
finisher. Never finisher.
The WWE finisher.
Yeah.
Sweet chin music.
When they're woozy, like the health bar goes all the way down. And then I hit him with the left, right, left square.
A button, B button, A button, B button.
I go left, right, left triangle.
Sure.
But
so your nickname is the same name as your signature.
And it's funny because I never even like. Because we don't give ourselves our own nicknames. It's all just
commentators, hypers.
No, it's like your coaches, and most of the time they'll give you a nickname just to mess with you. Like there's this girl at our gym, and we started calling her the meat grinder. And
she's probably pissed.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the madder she got, the more we just like she would fight, and we would just go grind that meat, grind that meat, grind that. Dude, it was great. And she kept trying to like switch it. And then one day we looked at her Instagram, and she had like put it as her little bio,
the meat grinder.
And then we're like, all right, like you're growing into it now.
That's kind of a fire name.
Yeah.
So when did you get hit with the Bermudez Triangle?
I think like kind of late pro. I was hitting a lot of triangles, amateur and all that, but I think they because I kept getting a bunch of weird. It was almost like the meat grinder thing. Like I remember one fight, like me and the guy kind of didn't like each other, and we were gonna like
this was Cage Titans.
Yeah, and this is an amateur fight, and then like me and the guy are like like staring at each other. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. And they go, Manny, the mangling Mexican Manny Bermudez.
Okay, you're like, relax.
well, no, because me and him are like ready to go, ready to go. And then you hear that, and then like I start laughing like like in the cage, and then it's just like, all right, it's the whole vibe just got off. Like,
You still beat the dude's ass though, right?
yeah, I beat him in like I think 2 minutes or something.
Let's
Like,
go.
1 minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a name I could give you.
What's your full name?
John Connor Hallway.
Oh my God, that's like the most John Connor.
That's the most white name of all
What are
time.
you, Irish?
Oh, wicked Irish,
You
bro.
Irish? Surprise.
So you're Mexican?
No.
Then why do you call you the Mexican?
Because it's a joke.
Fuck that dude. It's racist.
Yeah, because I'm half Puerto Rican and half Salvadorian.
Oh, word.
So
Okay.
I just go
I
Mexican.
was gonna say I thought Bermudez might be Portuguese.
No, so that's no, because like Dennis Bermudez is Puerto Rican.
Oh, word.
But his dad was a Puerto Rican one, and then my dad is from El Salvador, and they both have the same last name. So I think it's just like Spanish in general
Word.
or Latin or whatever.
There's a big Salvadorian population in Mass.
I think they call it Chelsea. El
Chelsea.
Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I got family up there.
And
too.
near the North Shore, kind of Linfield.
Yeah, exactly. But you're Irish, just
Mhm.
straight up Irish.
I mean, bro, I'm just white. You feel me?
Are you not,
Can't fight it.
not non-exotic white, not like
Just-
Danish or something.
Just white. Family's from Boston. A good kid.
Grew up in Lincoln.
Well, my parents were split. That gives me a little bit of street cred, right? Split my time between Cambridge and
Yeah,
Lincoln.
You're fighting the demons.
I'm still fighting them.
Still fighting them. Drink up.
Oh, yeah. So, I kind of just want to get back to the weight cut just a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
So when it's time to fight, you cut 35 pounds in 8 weeks.
Yeah, but
So how do you not feel fucking weak when you're training?
you get 20. I mean, when you're training, you just manage it right. You know, you eat at the right time, you can get through it, and then I think
You don't really know you can do it until you get it done the first time, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you eat so much more than you actually need. Most people eat so much more than they actually need. You know, so I feel like when I'm doing everything right, that like I'm just fueling myself. I'm just feel like I'll train and I'm like hungry, but then I'll like eat just enough to like get me through the rest of the day, and I'll feel fine. I'm not gonna like cry about it or nothing like that, you know. Cause
So do you have like an app on your phone? You're calculating calories or like?
well, I mean, when you're eating kind of like the same meals all the time,
know.
you kinda know.
What is it normally?
It's just like chicken and some vegetable.
You're
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah. Plain. You smack it with some salt.
Terrible.
Cry out the salt.
So that's probably. Would you say that's the toughest preparation is the cut?
Yeah, it's worse than the fight, 100%.
Worse than the fight.
Worse than
Do you enjoy this, bro?
I like fighting.
Yeah.
I like fighting, but I mean worse than because like after I cut the weight, then it's like, all right, like now we can just do our thing. And then the only thing that sucks about the fight is that you don't know how much you're getting paid till after the fight happens. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh, they don't tell you your contract beforehand?
Well, I mean, no, you know your contract, but like
If you win or lose.
yeah, because you get your show money and then you get the winner's purse. So you don't know if you're gonna walk out with just your show money. You don't know if you're gonna walk out with your show and winners.
What's the difference normally?
It doubles.
Fire.
So if you just show up, you get, we'll say, 10 grand, right?
And that's at like the
That's
some of the lowest UFC fights, right?
That's like that's probably the minimum.
Definitely a bigger check than that Cage Titans, though.
Yeah, for sure. But so you show up and you get, we'll say the 10 grand. Then you fight, you win, you get the extra 10 grand. And then if you get a submission or a knockout at night, that's 50K on top of that. So.
Oh, no way! It's that big of
Yeah.
a boost.
Yeah. So sometimes it's.
Oh, so they want to incentivize their fighters to go fucking nuts.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, yeah, exactly. But sometimes like if you fought there long enough, you're gonna make, the purse goes up. The longer you've been fighting for the UFC, the more fights you have, the more popular you are.
Yeah, I'm sure your next check with the UFC will be bigger.
Yeah, it's gonna just keep going up.
That was one thing about Dana White. So I mean, people shit on this dude all the time, just because they're like, he's just a controversial figure.
Yeah.
But bro, he like fucking hustled to build that goddamn league.
yeah.
Think of all the jobs he's created.
Yeah, and it's a huge company, and I didn't realize that till I went down to Vegas and I saw the teams that they have down there.
Wild, right?
They have a huge production team. They have like the social media. They got the doctors. They have They have a ton of people.
It's a corporation, man.
Yeah, it's huge. It's so big. And then
he's out of Boston, man. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, well, and I met Dana too a couple times, and he's just so like you can tell he's so busy, man. He like,
spread thin.
Yeah, and like he came over to me and he like shook my hand and all that. I'm honestly don't even know if he saw my fight. I don't know what he knows, but he just like said, "Hey, nice job out there," and then just like went on and did
That's it.
stuff. Yeah, he's like you talk to him for 2 seconds and then he's out.
So he doesn't give the go ahead for you to say, "Hey, listen, Manny Bermudez is like what were you 11-0, 10-0."
No, it's they have other matchmakers like Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard.
What about Kenny Florian? Did he give you a boost at all? He has Connect, right?
No, I never really met Kenny. I met
For reference, Kenny Florian is another prevalent UFC fighter. He's just a commentator now, right?
Yeah, he's a commentator. So actually, the guy that beat me in my second fight as an amateur, he trained out of Kenny's brother's school, Keith Florian,
Which is also out of Mass.
Yeah, it's out of Cambridge or Revere or something like that. But
We're good.
yeah. So and I met Keith a bunch of times. He's a good dude. I never met Kenny, like I said though.
So yes, is there a lot of politicking going on, like to get that first UFC bid?
Oh,
And what did you feel when you got that shit? Where you're like, holy fuck, I've been busting my ass my whole life. I finally got this chip.
Yeah. So.
Because that's what you work for, right?
The thing that was annoying was because the thing that was kind of annoying was that I was 11-0 and there were guys that were like 7-2, 7-3 getting into the UFC.
Why over you?
I don't know. Maybe the right place, right time.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no, nothing you can do. But so that was kind of annoying. I was finishing people. I think I only had 2 decisions, and most of my fights, I think all my fights actually ended in the first round. So then when I fought this guy in January, and then I beat him in it was like a minute, like something else like that.
Yeah, you have early finishes consistently.
Yeah,
right?
they're all quick usually.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Can you check the camera real quick, thanks?
But so then I fought him, and then within 4 days, I was like training at the gym, and then my coach goes on the phone, which is weird because my coach never like picks up the phone, and then like
that call.
But you could sense everybody in the gym was kind of like, what's like, imagine not being on the phone enough that you pick up the phone once and the whole gym goes, something's up.
Someone's either dead or this is huge.
That was my coach, and so the whole gym's just kind of looking, and then like he comes over and says something, right? But
you?
Yeah, but he like kind of like mumbled it, so I didn't hear what he said, but everybody starts cheering, right? And so I'm like, what? Like, because I didn't hear.
That's so dope.
Yeah, but I didn't hear what you said. So everybody's done cheering, and I'm like, all right, like I literally didn't hear what you said. And then he said again, and I was like, oh cool, I'm in the.
So what did he say? He was like, they want to sign you.
He's like, you're in the UFC now.
Oh man, good for you, bro.
But so then I was like, all right, that's awesome. But then I was
that's
like,
all he said.
I was like, that's cool. But who am I fighting? When am I fighting? When do I have to make the weight? Because then you start worrying about like am I fighting?
Do I have to sign papers? What am I doing?
Well, no, yeah. Like, am I fighting Cody Garbrandt or am I fighting? Who am
an
I
up and coming
fighting?
guy.
Yeah. So I ended up fighting this kid from
Davey Grant.
No, that was
the next one.
Albert Morales. He was from Cali somewhere, West Coast kid.
Folded him, right?
So that was my first UFC fight, and I got kind of.
You were probably nervous as fuck,
yeah,
right?
I froze up. I froze up there. I ended up finishing him in the second, but I don't feel like I looked the way that I didn't look that good. I didn't think so.
Well, that was probably just also a confidence thing, bro.
Yeah.
You're like, this is my first fight. You just don't feel comfortable.
Well, no, you walk out there and your hands are heavy and all that stuff.
Well, what is it? Like, I don't even mean to sound very cinematic, but what is that fucking like, bro? It's like, yo,
yeah.
This is what I've fucking been manifesting my whole life.
Yeah.
Now I'm out here. Fuck. I got here. Now I have to fucking win, dude.
Well, that's when my hands froze up.
Yeah. You're looking around like, holy shit.
Like, oh, there's a lot of people. It's cool, man. It's a lot cooler when you're done with it, though. I was never really good.
And you win.
Yeah, I was never really good with like interviews or nothing like that.
You're doing great, bro.
Oh, thank you. But then, afterwards, like you're all sweaty. You just fought some dude, and they shove a mic in your face and they're asking you questions. And you're like, I don't know what to say. Like,
it's overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming sometimes, but it's cool though. Like
this was the beginning of 2018.
Yeah, beginning of last
Yes,
year.
you're 23. Like,
Yeah, and being able to like fight, and then you look up into the crowd, and it's like, wow, there's a ton of people here. It's like a big stadium.
is that how you always visualized it?
No, because like I'm so used to fighting locally. I was so used to fighting local, you know. You obviously think like, oh, like one day it'd be cool to do that. One day it'd be cool to do that, but you don't like go through that.
So it was never like in your mind, like, yo, I'm like when you're coming up and training, you're like, yo, I'm gonna experience this one day, and I'm gonna like look out at this shit.
Yeah, but like I was thinking about the fighting. I wasn't thinking about the
Can't really enjoy it until
everything
after.
around it, you know, because you don't know what goes on. Like you don't know you're in the same stadium as some famous basketball team or anything like that. You're like, oh, this is where. I think so. Talking Stick, I think they had the Suns or something like that. So I was like, oh, this is where the Suns play, and then like I'm in their locker room, and then I'm walking out, and then when you're walking out, you're like, oh, this is the same place where they do all that stuff, and now there's like huge cameras. They get like those HD cameras that like
It's just like
zip
real,
around.
just fucking. It's pro, man.
Yeah, it's pro. And then like I was fighting a West Coast kid, and the fight was in Arizona on my last one.
So you had like no one there for you.
Yeah, I got nobody there, and but like everybody's yelling and screaming, and you like booing, and like the booing like doesn't matter. But
Dude, imagine just all the fucking emotions you're feeling.
that's what it is. Like you see everybody's all emotional and all that, but by my third one, I'd gotten kind of more used to it, and I felt normal.
Feel more poised.
I felt normal in there, and so I'm walking out, and
You fucked that dude up, bro. I saw it on TV. It was wild.
Yeah, so I was walking to the cage, and you could see everybody being like, oh, like this kid's gonna get smashed, this kid's gonna get smashed, and then like just
were you just like, fuck you,
no,
dude?
No, not even that. I was just like, just put your head down, like keep going.
Part of it.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be funny afterwards when when I beat the kid up, and then because the people that are yelling aren't the people that know anything about it. They don't know the difference.
Yeah, you've been studying his technique and shit.
Well, they even know the difference in like body type. They don't know the difference in speed. They don't know like who's stronger. They don't know any of that stuff.
So you were totally confident going. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna fold the fuck out of this dude.
I was next to the kid like a couple times. We did like face offs and all that, and I felt like I got a vibe from him that was like he was trying to scare me. He was trying to show me that he wasn't scared, in order to.
Yeah, he was coming across that he wasn't scared, even though he was scared.
Yeah. Like I felt like he was trying to intimidate me into being scared, and it was hard for me to be intimidated by him because of his frame and all that. And
Yeah, you're a bitch, bro.
No, yeah, but like I didn't mean it like that. But he, I don't know, like he like his arms were little and like stuff like that. Like I just couldn't.
What a kid can do when he's down, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dude choked him in like 10 seconds.
I'm sorry, but I just knew there was a difference in our body types. I knew there was a difference in maybe not even skill, but I just knew once I grabbed him, it was gonna be over.
Yeah, so most of your wins are via submission, correct?
Yeah.
And have people been shitting on you because they don't think your striking's as heavy?
No.
Again, I know nothing about the UFC.
No.
I'm just trying to talk in the frame of a UFC fan.
People always just go, he's gonna get knocked out. People go, he's gonna get knocked out, but they don't see that like I close distance using boxing. Like
It's like you've been punching your whole life.
Yeah, like so this last kid's big thing was his flying knees, and like people were acting like I was just gonna run into a flying knee like without expecting it, when the whole time the whole camp were like, okay, this kid's got one thing, it's a flying knee, that's what he hits people with. And then like people are like, oh, he's gonna run into it and get knocked out by it. I'm like, I'm literally just gonna like keep my head back and then he can't knee me.
Wow.
Simple solutions to the problems that people are trying to bring up on me.
And are you on a? Again, I'm gonna talk about ego. Don't do it, Connor. Talk about it every single episode. But do you have an ego now to the point where it's like, yo, like you have to when you reach certain levels of professionalism, but are you like, yo, no one has beat me. Like, you guys can all suck my dick. Dead ass.
Well, I mean, I know that there's guys that can,
No, they can't, bro.
Like, everybody can get beat, And I was actually talking to Dominic Cruz about this. I told him, I was like, dude, like, the top 5, top 10 guys are all so good that I don't know if anybody wins consistently. And then Dominic looked at me, and Dominic was like, Yeah, honestly, I feel like every one of those fights is like a coin flip.
Up for grabs.
Yeah, whoever's better that day wins.
So the league's up for grabs then, right?
Yeah, but like fighting is so unpredictable. You know, that's what I'm telling you. Like you go into a bar and then like you pick someone with the wrong guy and he just happens to swing just a little bit faster than you expect him to. You're out cold. You know, everybody's got a chin. Everybody's got all that stuff. So.
Do you? So are you at a point now where it's like, yo, I'm 3-0 in the UFC. Fuck, I'm gonna have to get to a point where I have to prepare to fight one of these top dudes.
Yeah.
Like you can never really feel ready for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been wanting to do my whole life, though. So.
You're living into it.
Yeah. Obviously, don't jump right into the deep end, but take your time with it. Enjoy the climb up.
Who's the next fight?
Nothing yet.
Who'd you call out though?
I wanted to fight Sean O'Malley.
Word.
Yeah.
You gonna fold him?
If they give him to me, yeah, I'll fold him.
He's also on the come up, right?
Yeah, he's undefeated. I'm undefeated.
He sounds Irish though, bro.
Yeah, probably more Irish than him. I'm from Boston. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
But no, I want to keep trying to fight undefeated kids. I think it's a good way to, boost myself by beating up the.
Yeah, well, there aren't many, right? Bantamweight.
I think there's 3 left now at this point. Like, at least undefeated kids. There's me, Sean O'Malley, and then Brad Katona.
Word.
And so Brad was like an Ultimate Fighter kid. He had won the last season at 145 and then dropped down to 145 after the
For reference, Ultimate Fighter is like the UFC reality show, right?
Yep, exactly.
It's a good way for people to come up, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough way to come up because you're out there for 6 weeks. If you make it to the finals, you take 3 fights in those 6 weeks.
And there's cameras in your face all the time.
And you're living with a bunch of guys that you're probably gonna have to fight.
It's really smart promo though.
Well, I think once you lose, they like give you alcohol too. So like you can't leave the house till afterwards.
Oh
so
yeah, because they want to induce controversy and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, interesting show.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good for the viewers, right?
So here's a business question. Kind of a good segue, but like the UFC is now, it's been so prided on like fanaticism and like fucking sparks flying. To be honest, and I like being very political when I'm up here and not like being a dick, but I felt like a lot of that McGregor shit seemed like very cinematic. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it was a set storyline.
Yeah.
Do you, and I know this is your employer, so you probably can't really say much, but do you ever think they push a little bit of fraudulence into the market just to kind of build a fight?
I don't think it's fraudulence. I think it's real stuff that happens. You know, I've been.
You can understand why it seemed like it was a WWE storyline, right?
Yeah. Guys definitely try to hype it sometimes, but then there's guys that just are like that. You know, guys that are just going off the wall, like. Especially in this sport, if football players go out and football players do crazy stuff, sometimes too.
Yeah,
but
it's fucking tapped.
Yeah, fighting's gonna bring the same thing, The basketball players go off and do something nuts, you think you're not gonna see it in a sport where you literally fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they use it to try to get more viewers, which is, like, do you agree with that or not? I personally, I think if it happened, you can record it, you can put it out there, you can let people know what the build up to the fight is. I don't really see too much of a problem with it, but
no, I like it. I think it's interesting as fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
you get what I mean, though. It seemed like that was like a larger than life story.
Yeah, well, I think everything about Conor is larger than life, though. So I think they try to like.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure now that you're in? We're good over there. Adam, is it charging?
Yeah.
Do you feel a pressure now, like you're in the league, now you have to like overmarket yourself?
No, like I think we were kind of talking about this earlier, with, like the social media. I just feel like I'm not very good at social media.
Yeah.
But, like I'm trying to do like a little Facebook post or Instagram thing.
But that's how dudes maintain themselves in the league, right?
That's how people get talked about more.
Mm-hmm.
So people get talked about more. I just don't have like.
It's just not your lane.
It's not my lane. I just don't have a lot of. I got like 5,000 people on.
It will grow though, bro.
What's that? Yeah. I mean, the more.
This will get you a couple at least.
Yeah, hell yeah. But it's, to me, I don't think it's that much of a difference because I'm not, top 10. You're
gonna get there though, bro.
Yeah, I've even met top 10 guys though that don't even have like top 10 guys in the world, and they don't even like have anything big or flashy or nothing like that.
Well, I more so mean like, do you ever? you're like you seem like such like a calm dude. Like you're a good dude. Do you ever feel like pressured to like be more braggadocious and showboaty?
No, I just know that's not.
It's not you.
It's not me. So I'm not gonna try to do something that's not.
And the UFC has never been like, yo, like you got to be more of a dick.
No, never. They actually probably wouldn't want me doing that just because, you know, then like this guy's yelling at me, that guy's yelling at me. Like,
it's not your brand, kind of.
It's not even about the brand. It's about like keeping things. You know, like the thing is like if somebody grabs at me, like I'll say something back. Like I'm not like worried about it like that, but I'm also not trying to like when I'm cutting weight or when I'm like just walking around by myself in the hotel for the fights, trying to like, you know, get people off my back. It's just a pain in the ass. So I'd rather just sit there, try to be your friend. If you're not my friend, then well, whatever. Else will beat you up.
Yeah. So you're like, your lane is like, yo, I just gotta keep catching W's, man.
Yeah,
right?
Just keep winning, keep doing well. I've been training for so long. You know, a fight's just a fight. It's nothing to be.
But you in a big game now, bro. You feel me?
But it's still just a fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I feel you.
It's still just a fight. It's just against better people now.
Has it been tough for you to transition? Like now you have to create a business behind yourself. It's now you're not on the come up anymore. Now you have to establish it.
That's the tough part because
if you're not business minded, it can be tough as fuck.
Yes. So now I'm at a point where I feel like I should be using the you know my kind of resume to be able to help me make money for later in life. It's just tough to find a place to start with it, you know. And I think because sometimes people hit me up and then they're like, "Oh, like, do you wanna?"
You gotta get an agent, bro, right?
But I don't even think an agent really does it with, you know, like future, like I say an investment, but like
yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, you mean like you don't think an agent would hop on because you haven't been popping with money yet?
Not even that. I'm just saying like an agent won't help you, you know, set something up for the future.
Well, you gotta find the right agent, bro.
Yeah, well, if the right agent's out there,
hit him up, man.
Hit me up.
There's a big shift, and I'm noticing it. And this is something we can talk about afterwards too. But in terms of Boston entertainment, I see Boston brands starting to connect with Boston entertainment so much more. Like that's gonna be such a lane for you, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see a lot of like new opportunity too, because like I see that the new casino's coming up.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So
it's right up the street.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna put up fights up there. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be mega.
If we get some fights down at the Encore.
Whoa, that's a Win property too, right?
Yeah. I think in Vegas they have the Encore and the Win. So
oh, Dana White's got to be thinking about doing some shit like that.
He must be.
You know his story? I'm sure you know it about how like that mob got affiliated with this shit.
Yeah, and then everyone says he got run out of Boston or whatever.
It's a Hollywood story, bro.
He's nice and safe when he comes in now, though.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care. He's also a big dude.
Oh, he's a monster.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
He's like taller than me.
What are you, 6?
It's like 6'3".
It's probably about your height.
Yeah, but he's like built.
Yeah, he's got like a big dome, big muscle. He's a unit.
Kind of have to.
He's a unit.
So I want to just ask some of the questions that people had asked me. Oh, one, listen, shout out to Adam Hanna.
Yeah, Adam.
I can't believe, bro, that you said he was like a really good like focus fighter.
Yeah.
That is not Adam at all, dude.
No, so me and him used to do private lessons all the time, and he was just like, he's very attentive, very respectable. When he always asked questions that made sense, you know. He wasn't just like asking just to seem smart. Just ask, like he would ask you a question, listen to the answer, and then try out the answer, which is something that you don't really see a lot of kids doing.
Yeah, you just want to have that private training client, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Adam, cut the check, bro.
But no, it's.
He said it was a little weird because like initially when he'd approached you, it's like, oh shit, this kid my age is gonna be my coach. It's mad strange.
Yeah.
But he said it worked out perfect.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't seem. I didn't think it was weird, like, because you know, that was my job at the time. You know, it still kind of is. But,
Do you still do training?
Yeah, I still train people. So just maybe a little less as fight camps come in. You know, because I don't want to be like training for a fight and then
have to
having it because it takes away the energy a little bit throughout the day.
When do you start to reach like in the UFC I mean, it's still such a budding sport, but when do you start to reach the point where it's like, yo, public demands become crazy? Like, you're going to have to start, you're like very torn apart with your schedule. It seems,
media and stuff.
yeah.
Last time was the most media I've ever had to do, I think, just because it was the first time on ESPN. It wasn't too bad. The bad one is when people all want to like set up interviews with you and then they just can't get on board with a time, and then like,
How was this for a time? Was this okay?
This was good because we worked it out. But and then like once you do whatever interview, they'll call you from some burner phone or something like that, and it's just like I can't even hear what's going on the phone, and they're asking me terrible questions.
Oh, phone interviews.
Yeah, phone interviews are terrible. Or like Skype's fine, but
You ever feel like spread thin, like you're doing too much media? It's just part of the job.
Yeah, it's just part of the job, and I mean, just talking to people.
Well, this is a little different than like a formal ESPN interview, though,
Yeah,
where it's like a prepped question, do this, do that.
Yeah, ESPN interviews are interesting because you would think they're a lot less personable than they actually end up being. So the people will come up to me and I'm like, oh god, here comes like an official interview, and then the people will actually be funny.
They're cool.
They're cool, and so then like I feel like they can actually work a little bit of your personality out of you.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I mean, the bad thing is sometimes like you see the more important people, and then all interviews.
You've also probably been seeing them on TV for so long that it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a sick merger, though, dude.
Yeah.
ESPN and UFC.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, so my first 2 fights for the UFC were on
Fox, right?
So there was one. They were on Fight Pass though, because
Fight Pass is like an NFL red zone for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah. So, because I was prelim, and then you would have to like buy the app and then watch it on the app, and then my second fight was in Germany, but it was still like the highlighted fight of the Fight Pass, and so nobody saw those 2 fights. But then this fight was on ESPN. It was on the preliminary card and all that. And now I'll go out and people will be like, "Oh, I saw you fight on ESPN. I'll saw you fight on ESPN." And I'm just like, this is the first time people have like come up to me and like had like a certain fight in mind, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I told you I'd seen your first fight on ESPN.
Yeah.
Sick, bro.
It's crazy. And then even in Phoenix and stuff like that, there was people that were like, "Oh, it was like I went to like it's called the Hash House a Go-Go."
What is that?
It's like a breakfast place in Vegas.
Oh, a hash house. Like a hash brown type shit. Yeah.
And then I was getting food at like 4 a.m. or whatever. And this family was next to me. They just kept eyeing me. And then
Like, yo, let me just eat, dude.
Well, no. And I was like, oh god, like this guy want to fight me or something. And then the guy comes up to me and then goes, "I just bought all your breakfast. I saw you fight the other day, and you won."
Ah, it's huge.
And he's like, "I put money on you, and I won money off of you." And I was like, "Oh, awesome."
That must be strange as fuck. Someone says they put money on you.
Yeah.
Has any better ever hit you up and like, "I got 50K on you now. You better not fuck this up."
They haven't said it like that, but all my friends are like, "Oh, hey, like, I'm gambling on you. Okay, so don't lose." As if that's gonna make a difference. Like, as I walk out, I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, like Mike's got $30,000 on me."
Yeah. Have you ever what was it? There was that World Cup where like Argentina had that own goal, and then the dude came back, or was it Medellin? It was Colombia, and everyone had bet on Colombia, and they had an own goal that fucked everything up, and then he got killed.
Oh Jesus! Don't kill me.
That's real shit, though.
Oh, fuck that.
Fucking, is it weird for you now? Like, now you can actually be full-time doing what you like. When I'm assuming previously it was like you would train, you would go to school, and then you would go to Cage Titans in Plymouth. Which honestly, when I see Cage Titans, I'm like, yo, this looks like a fucking experience.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun. It
just seems like rowdy. The dude's drinking out of flasks. The girls are just like not that hot.
Yeah. They God bless Cage Titans. I love going down there because fighting over there is different, man. It's like because I fought Mohegan, I fought at Twin River a couple times. I fought at casinos and all that. And when you fight in places like that, it doesn't really feel like a fight, It feels like a
show.
It feels like an event, And even the UFC, I still feel like it's just like an event. But when I fought for Titans, it was like the ring's in the middle of the
like a town hall or some shit.
Yeah, and then there's people like so close to you, and they're just yelling and screaming, and the lighting is awesome because it's like It's not
A little
pitch
more
black.
grungy, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like a bad kind of grungy either, though. It's like it's super intense. It's super intense, and to the point where when I would fight somewhere else, I'd be like, oh, that's not that bad. Like, does it feel that brutal?
And dudes are, I'm assuming, a little less professional there too, which kind of probably. I mean, because dudes are there on the come up, right? Dudes there want a chance to go to the UFC.
So it is, I guess, a little less professional in terms of like you'll get guys that are only going to have an amateur fight, or a couple amateur fights. They don't expect to make their career. But I think the promoter does a good job of keeping the show running. He keeps everything entertaining. He keeps all the fights well hyped up. It's just a good show.
Shout out Cage Titans, man.
Shout out Cage Titans. But it's just a good, well-run show. And I think they have one April 6th or something coming up.
You gonna get a celebrity appearance there?
I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be there. So you guys should all show up.
Scout out.
Shout out Cage Titans.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag pay me. Cage Titans pay me.
They what was it? There's something my fault. If you gotta take a piss or anything, let me know, bro. I don't know where Adam went. Yeah, he just disappeared. There's a lot of noise going on too. I don't know if you realize. I'm like banging outside, piano and shit. Oh yeah, I want to make sure I ask you some of these questions that Tarek had prepared because he's a huge UFC guy. I'm just pulling it out. Here we go. So he said that you were on the undercard for Cain Velasquez, which I had to do some research, but it's a UFC legend.
Yeah.
Is that like interesting? And he got his shit beat in, right?
He popped his knee out or something like that in the fight. But so when I was walking out to go fight, he was in the hallway with a towel on it, and I don't know if you've seen this guy. Like, he's like
scary.
He's got a mean jaw, and he's got like those like furrowed eyebrows. He's a big, scary dude. He had a towel on his head, and he's dripping in sweat, and he's not fighting for another like 2-3 hours. Like, I don't know why he was getting so hyped up so quick, but he's straight up like grunting and growling and yelling in the hallway.
Being a psycho.
Yeah, and this is when I'm walking to my fight, so I gotta go walk past this dude.
Holy
and I'm
shit!
just like, dude, what is going on right now?
What the fuck?
And he had so much time too. I was just.
Why was he doing that?
I think just to pump himself up.
3 hours before the fight?
Yeah.
Fucked him up.
Yeah. Apparently, he popped his knee out.
Is that interesting though? It's like these dudes are stars. Yeah, go ahead. That's all you, bro. And all this shit's for you too.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Sure, man. Welcome to the golden hours.
Yeah. So what were we saying?
That dude's a legend, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's
so is it
a legend?
Is it like dope? Like, holy shit, I'm fighting on the same card as him?
Yeah. I don't know.
But he was just such a psycho. You're like, what the fuck?
No. I mean, just with all these guys, like they're just normal people when you get to know them, and even.
I feel like you probably hold him until you meet him in person. You hold him to a pedestal. Then you're like, this is just a dude.
You hold him to a pedestal, and then you see him, and then you're like, oh, this isn't. Not that this isn't as cool as what I thought it was gonna be, but you're like, I'm in the same place as you, So it's not like
you can't really be starstruck.
Crazy. Yeah. And they're all nice guys, I like some of the fighters that I grew up watching that I talked to, and I'm like, wow, like it's actually fun talking to you. Like, you actually have
you're a good dude.
Yeah. And then you see some guys, and you're just like, oh god, like this guy's
egomaniac,
or like annoying, or whatever. There's not too many of them, but
there are some.
There's some.
I honestly bet this dude McGregor is so exasperated in public in terms of his promo that he's probably honestly kind of calm when you meet him.
Oh yeah, he's probably just like.
Hey, nice to meet you.
He's probably tired all the time.
I know. He's probably exhausted.
High energy, and he's probably like, oh my god, I just want to sleep.
Crashes, I know.
I just want to sleep. I don't know. He I mean, like us talking, it's not like this is weird. So that's the same exact way as it is with me and the other fighters. Like, it's just normal. It's like, oh, it's just a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You didn't make it on the UFC 3 roster, right? The video game. No. Can you make it next year?
I'll try.
So how many? What's the percentage of fighters they cut off?
For like to put on the roster? So I have no idea, but I think they do kind of like active guys coming up. I mean, I think there's a chance that they would put.
That'd be fire.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sick.
Especially if I get another win or two.
You have how many more fights this year? You think too?
I got probably 2 or 3 more maybe.
Let's go.
We'll see how they.
I definitely want to go to one, bro.
Yeah, you gotta come. They're sick, man. They're awesome.
Wild.
Yeah. I went to one in Brooklyn just as a fan, and it was just so cool seeing everybody. You know.
They must give me a press pass or something, though, right?
Yeah, they sat me with all the other fighters that came out and watched. There's actually 2 sections. There was like the super important fighter section, and there was just like the rest.
The
of
guys on the come up. Yeah.
And I was on that side. But it was still cool.
Better off that way. You're experiencing everything.
Yeah, you get to see it from the other side. But no, there was a bunch of fighters, guys in my weight class out there. We all just kind of hung out, had a good time.
So you could definitely make the next video game, right?
They haven't said anything to me about it. I don't know if they're making a new game.
Oh no, those games are popular as fuck.
Okay, well then, hopefully they'll hit me up saying.
What do you think your rating's gonna be?
100 everywhere. 110.
I wonder what they give most rookies.
Probably like 70s.
Who's like I'm just gonna look it up. Who's like the rookie on the come up right now that has like? Yeah, I'll set.
Can't think of anyone. That would be in the video game. No, I'm drawing a blank for them. Look up the roster and I'll tell you. I'll tell you somebody.
Sure. Miocic is a heavyweight.
He was a title contender. He had the title.
Is he fucking massive?
He's a big boy.
Here we go. Let's find it. Miocic is a 92, 89 grappling. They don't really have overall ratings.
Yeah.
These are heavyweights. We want to find your weight class, right?
Yeah. 35.
Bantamweight.
Bantamweight, yeah.
Okay. Dillashaw is a 94 striking, 90 grappling, 92 stamina, 90 health.
He's the champ, though. He's the champ. He's not on the come up.
All right, so I'll go all the way down. Lineker.
He's good. He was he's like top 10.
89 striking, 87 grappling, 87 stamina, 92 health. I'm gonna go all the way down.
I wish I just.
The lowest is Wineland, 88 striking, 85 grappling, 87 stamina, 86 health.
That's probably it then.
That's probably where you'd bet.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine how nice it would be to have like 100 health in life in general all the time.
Oh, I'd be using you every time, bro. Well, Soto actually has the worst striking. He's 83.
Joe Soto, yeah. He'd probably be a come up because he was only in the UFC for a little bit. I think he got cut.
So these are the dudes you gotta face. So weird, bro. It's gonna be so. You can fight as Bruce Lee.
I'm gonna fight against Bruce Lee. That's what I want.
That's gonna be so dope. You see yourself in a video game.
Yeah, I'm gonna get so many people sending me videos of me getting knocked.
You're gonna get so many shorties.
No, so many people are gonna hit me up being like, "This is you getting knocked the fuck out."
Do you get a lot of hate like that?
Not really. No, I get.
You're just not a hateable dude, bro.
I didn't think so. And then,
then you got the UFC.
Some people do, But I think people just find problems to try to take out on you.
For sure. Have you encountered any psychotic fans yet?
Yeah.
People really love the UFC, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an instance. They're not psychotic fans, but just like weird people. Definitely a lot of weird people. There's people that like just see me out and then just like want to talk to me and then keep talking.
Seem like they've seen you online and like a little strange, kind of, right?
Yeah. That's it. You can always see it, just like
they have a weird obsession, kind of, with the conversation.
Yeah. And then
how do you navigate that when that happens?
You just try to
keep it moving.
I try to pawn it on somebody else. Well, I'll be like,
oh yeah, Connor loves the UFC too.
I'll be like, oh man, you think I'm good? Talk to this guy right here. or I'll try to be like,
it's hilarious.
Or I'll try to be like, oh man, I wish I could talk more, but I got something really important to do, and then I'll go and like sit in my car.
Just chill.
Avoid people, yeah. Hide. Just hide away from the public.
Hilarious.
But it's not even like I don't know, not that many people like recognize me. I don't really think it's a big deal. I think everybody else thinks it's a bigger deal than I think it is.
I know. So this is interesting. So growing up, like shorties love football players. They love basketball players.
Shorties, is that a Lincoln term?
Well,
Lincoln
shorties, it's my shorty. And I'm sure girls, when they figured out you were like nice at fighting, they probably didn't gravitate towards you instantly, right?
No, not really.
Has it have girls started to show you more attention now that they know you're in the UFC?
I feel like girls don't even like know that I'm in the UFC.
Well,
like,
you honestly, that's when you got to be public about it.
No, so this is the thing, like girls seem like cauliflower ear and they're like, this dude's ears are fucked up, and then like,
is that what that's called, cauliflower ear?
Yeah. And then but like guys will come up. That's the thing. Guys will come up to me and be like, yo,
You're my fucking guy.
Yo, your ears not gonna mess with you. And then and like this is what I mean. Like I can't like if I go try to take like last night I was out for St. Patrick's Day. I go to the bathroom and take a piss, and then like
Where are you, Southie?
Yeah, I went to Coogan's.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Watch out, kids at Coogan's. You better watch your mouth.
but then like you're taking a piss and then like get the little head shake thing, and then they look it's like squint at your ears and like you fight, not gonna mess with you, bro. And it's like thanks dude. And then like I don't know.
You gotta figure out a way to be more public about it with girls, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta play that pro athlete card.
Well,
I've been telling girls I'm a pro athlete for years.
Are you a pro athlete?
They think I am.
I think you are. Huh? I wonder, like, I heard this story. This guy went to a bar, and then he was like, "Oh, my name is, like, whatever UFC fighter," and then like, actually, I messed up the story, but so this guy was at a bar and kept telling everybody he was a UFC fighter.
Like, hey, I'm Anderson Silva.
Yeah. I won't use the guy's name, but then like the actual fighter went to the bar as the guy was like, "Oh, my name is," and then he took out his ID and just like opened up, like took out his driver's license and just passed it to the guy. He's like, "You're not this person. I'm literally this person." But the guy didn't even recognize him though. Like if I was gonna be like, "Oh, I'm Manny Bermudez, a UFC fighter," I'd like at least recognize Manny Bermudez, a UFC fighter.
Yeah, maybe I'll start going to Coogan's. I'll say, "Yo, Manny."
Yeah,
I don't look like a Manny.
You don't look like a Bermudez. Bro.
Not at all, bro.
You look like Connor. Connor what?
Connor O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan.
No, it's Connor Holloway.
Connor Holloway, O'Sullivan Smith.
Oh, Finnegan.
Mike. Flanagan.
Yeah. There's a lot of Flanagans out yesterday, bro.
Oh yeah, there were.
Did you go to the parade?
No, I woke up too late.
Word. So when you're not fighting, you'll go out and booze and like in Boston and shit.
Yeah, I go out. Like I love Boston. It's a good city to be in. I like having fun, like going out with friends, all that stuff.
You go to like Faneuil Hall and shit.
Yeah, not Faneuil Hall so much, but actually, there's this one place I do like. It's called JJ O'Donovan's. I got a bunch of friends that work up there. It's a really nice.
Cut that check, JJ O'Donovan's. You got a spokesperson.
JJ O'Donovan's right here. But I like going to Seaport, like going through all the.
That's wild to me, bro.
Yeah.
That like one day you would just be out there.
But I mean, like I said, you just never know. You never know who's out there. Like,
I know. So don't start fights, man.
Yeah. Just don't fight people.
Exactly.
That's my advice. Especially kids in Faneuil. Like I think they're all just always trying to fight.
Well, bro. When I went to Providence College, it was just like kids loved to fight. I got in a couple brutal ass fights.
Did you?
Yeah, just vicious. It was just stupid. Like there was one time I had Tim's on. I steel-toed a kid in the throat.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was vicious.
It wasn't like the nose, the orbital, or something like that.
It was like right in the throat. I was aiming for his head.
Yeah.
Those shits are deadly weapons, bro.
You ever seen somebody break like something in their face?
I've seen someone get elbowed in the face and the cheekbone break.
Yeah, so I did that in a fight.
You broke someone or you got broke?
No, I broke the orbital, and like so I was like behind them and I just go and I elbow.
Were you just like,
I heard a crunch and I was like, this is either his face or my elbow. Like, and it was just the grossest noise ever. So,
who is the black dude you fought 2 fights ago?
2
or 3? Well, bro, I saw you hit someone in a fight, and then you said, "Are you okay?"
Bendy.
Yeah, you said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, he was a really nice dude.
You felt bad?
I didn't feel bad, but it was just
that's on footage. It was hilarious. Wait, are you all right?
His reaction was funny, like, cause
you hit him hard.
Yeah, he sized me up, and then like his eyes just perked up, and then I don't know. It was just funny because like.
That's hilarious. So this dude's in like, a UFC fight, and he clocks him in the face and said, "Hey, are you all right? My fault."
Well, no.
It's like, oh shit, we're actually fighting.
I was like, "You good?" And then my coach started yelling at me. He's like, "Now's not the time to be playing like that." And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
You finished that dude though.
Yeah, I choked him. He was a black belt actually, and he was really good at foot locks and knee bars and all that. So it was a solid win because he was a specialist. Those guys are tough to fight. Like if you fighting somebody that's used to one style.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. What do you think consists of the best champion? Is it someone with a specialty or someone that's well rounded? That's a Tark question too.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at like a Khabib.
Khabib's
he's a wrestler.
So's Cormier, right?
Yeah, but Cormier can strike, so Cormier is well-rounded.
Jones is well-rounded, right?
Jones is very well-rounded.
See, how has that shifted? Because wasn't Silva was a light heavyweight and was Silva was a light heavyweight?
Yeah, light heavyweight and middleweight.
And he was just a fucking striker, right?
He could grapple.
Or am I talking about Chuck Liddell was just a striker?
Chuck Liddell was a striker wrestler.
But now it's shifted to the fact where John Jones is good at like almost everything.
Everybody growing up now has to do a little bit of everything, you know? You can't just get by with just one style. So, just the evolution of the sport. You're not going to get a guy that's just like good at one thing and can, because like this guy Israel Adesanya who's coming up, filthy striker from New Zealand, but like can wrestle enough to just like keep him away from you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like now what are you gonna do now?
He's your weight class?
No, he's like an Anderson. He just fought Anderson Silva.
Beat him.
Oh yeah, a decision. But how do you fight a guy like that? Because now the guy's like, this guy had like 74 kickboxing fights or something like that, and then like grew up in a regular career path through MMA. You know, like so he's had like 20, 30 fights in MMA and then like 70 as a kickboxer. So he's got all that experience and he can wrestle.
And your bread and butter for the most part is jiu-jitsu, right?
Choking people.
Yeah. So what would your second specialty be?
I mean, I guess I grew up doing it all. I grew up wrestling, grew up boxing. It's just fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Man. It's just
yeah.
fighting. There's no like
get it done.
Like yeah, I mean, the choking people is kind of like the thing I do best, but it's also just being able to get to the choke because
shifty as fuck.
Yeah, everybody thinks that's just like I just walk out, grab a neck, and that's it. But everybody knows what I'm gonna do. So how do I keep on getting people's necks
and reinventing and shit?
Yeah, exactly. And everybody says that like I'm just not gonna let him choke me. But like everybody said that.
Yeah.
To this point,
Was yeah, so that was another thing. So you think that people need to just be like totally well-rounded at this point to be a champ?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, especially to be a champ. To be a champ, you can't just be well-rounded. You have to be great at everything.
How many more fights till you have a chance at the championship? How many more wins?
You never know.
Like 4 or 5, maybe.
35 is pretty deep. So
no, 4 or 5.
No, 135 is pretty deep. So they have I think they have a pretty good waiting list. It might be 3, might be 5. Assuming you.
That'd be so fire. You get there, bro.
Yeah. So it's just.
Be big for the state.
What's that? Big for the state? Yeah, hopefully, man. We got a bunch of other guys from Boston up in the UFC too, though. They're all good guys.
Yeah, I wanted you to speak on that a little bit, like how, again, because we were talking about like kids don't really have access to it. I mean, Adam was saying some dude like there's some other dude on the come up like Richie Costa or something. Randy Costa.
Yeah, he's from Lausanne's. He's a good dude. He's been fighting for a while. He just hasn't had that many fights. He's got a good team behind him. Lausanne MMA. They're not my school, but I'm friends with Joe Lausanne, and he runs.
Joe was a pro too, right?
Yeah, he was in the UFC.
So is that the standard now that you're coming up? Like, oh, I gotta follow a career like him or Kenny Florian. I
mean, Joe's made a lot of money from fighting, so I think he'd be a good role model to follow. He has had a lot of like performance bonuses and all that. He's been in some crazy fights too, so he's like a fan favorite. I don't know if you always want to be the fan favorite because that means you get put through wars. It means you get hit in the head a lot. It's all.
I just mean like being on the come up in Massachusetts and then being able to get to that point of like I'm in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get that attention?
But Joe, so you see, Joe started fighting like way before there was amateurs. Joe's fighting forever ago, so it'd be hard to follow what Joe's on career path now.
So who do you follow, or who did you follow?
Honestly, nobody. I just kind of
kept winning.
just kept. Yeah, that's the thing. You just want to keep on like chipping away at it. Keep trying to make yourself better every time. You don't want to be out there trying to mimic anybody, because like you mimic the wrong person. It doesn't fit with your personality. It doesn't fit with your fighting style. Whatever.
You don't want to lose.
Maybe you keep winning, but people won't like you. People won't like you. People won't want to take you in. Like if you're a pain in the ass to the UFC, it's gonna be all right. Whatever. Like we'll pass over you. Pick somebody better.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have stay true to yourself, I think.
So how does as a youth sport, like, I don't know what your parents' initial reaction was, but they're like, yo, my kid wants to fight. Many parents would be like, yo, I don't want my kid to fight because like this is violent and this is vicious and I don't want him to teach him this shit.
Yeah. So my parents kind of thought it was more of a hobby at first, and then I started getting more and more serious into it, and they're like, all right, you can do what you want, just make sure that you're you're studying, you're working, whatever. And obviously they wanted me to be like a doctor, a lawyer, a spaceman,
Yeah, I feel you.
something like that.
What do they do?
So my dad works at Fidelity Investments. And
Oh, you got a corporate pops?
Yeah,
I got a corporate mom, bro.
Yeah. And then my mom just works retail in Abington.
Word.
So, but yeah, no. So
you knew I never want to work corporate, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm the same way, dude.
Oh man, I can't do cubicles or accounting or nothing like that. So oh my god, it makes my head explode. But yeah, no. So I mean, I don't think they were happy that I just decided to just full on do this. But I'm just gonna move this.
Yeah, take your time, bro.
So
Probably a good thing though. You probably like, yeah, I gotta go prove that I'm good at this shit.
Well, I mean, you definitely knew I had to go like all in. If I'm gonna do it, you're gonna do it all the way. You can't just like half do it, because now you got risking that, because then you don't succeed at it, and then your parents are like, "Well, told you so." But,
yeah, so that's kind of a good thing in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's pressure, but pressure's good, right?
Mm-hmm. For some people.
Some people.
I feel like you just don't get anxiety.
No, I was never really an anxious person.
Yeah, that's probably essential for fighting.
And you know when I get anxious? When I go clothes shopping. That's why I don't go clothes shopping.
Why? Too many options?
I just don't know what to do.
That's why you need a shorty, bro. How do I do it?
I'll be like right in front of Kohl's, and I'll be like, I'm not going in.
Fuck
today.
no.
I'll start
Well,
sweating.
TJ Maxx is the look.
TJ Maxx, like cold sweats.
Oh my god.
Cold sweats.
So what you were talking about a little bit before we got up here was that first check you made a stack. Like you made a lot of money. I don't know if you want me to disclose it. Okay, yeah, I won't. That was a lot of money for a kid our age.
Yeah. No.
So are you like, yo, I'm about to go blow this?
Well, so I went on a little trip to Europe.
Soul searching.
Yeah, just by myself. I got to go visit Germany. I went to go visit Paris. I went to 3 places in Italy.
Traveling completely alone.
Just by myself.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, dude, it was so much fun.
Were you ever like, yo, I wish someone was here with me experiencing this? Or?
No, I like just being like.
Nobody. Are you only child?
No, I got a little brother.
Oh, word.
He's 20.
He fights too?
He doesn't fight. He used to wrestle in high school, but.
So you could fold him.
Oh yeah, yeah, Christian. If you're listening to this, I'm gonna fold you when I get home. But he just being able to be out there by myself is awesome. Like I don't have to be home by any time. I don't have to like be quiet when I get back. I can just have my own mess. Like nobody's messing with my mess.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro.
Yeah, like even when I go out to go fight, like I'll get a room for my coaches and I'll get one for myself, just because kind of
let me do my thing,
diva-ish, I guess, because I just go out there and I'm like, I don't want to
deal with the
anybody.
bullshit. Mm-hmm.
Don't want to like share a room. Don't want to have a TV on. Don't like
Sorry, I deviated on my question a little bit. So how do you incentivize parents to allow their kids to fight?
Oh yeah. Oh, you got far away from that.
Yeah, I know, bro. We're probably gonna look back at this conversation. It's gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah. So ask it one more time.
Parents are traditionally, they don't want their kids to get into fighting because they deem it as violent.
Okay.
And it's not, kids don't really have access to it, especially in Massachusetts. as much as you would town soccer. How do you incentivize parents to let their kids fight, and why should they fight?
So I mean, first of all, it's just competition. It's a different kind of competition because it's physical, you know. But that's what makes it such a good sport. That's what makes you learn so much about yourself. It makes you, you know, I don't get anxiety or nothing like that. But like, if I didn't train, if I didn't fight, like, who knows? Maybe I'd get anxiety. Like,
It's very primal. It's like
it's primal.
humans
but,
are supposed to like get physical.
you know, like there's been times where like, you know, hurt myself, like fall down or like, whatever, right? And then you're like, oh man, did I hurt myself? And then, but like, I know what a real injury is like, you know, so I know that like, if I'm not like completely messed up or something that's gonna like, you know, really hurt me, like, I know I'm fine, just brush it off, keep
Bro,
going.
this is a terrible sales pitch.
Well, yeah, this is a bad one. You're safe from falling down any set of stairs.
You're like, you'll get hurt much more if you professionally fight.
Well, no, I'm just saying you're gonna. Yeah, actually, you just lost me.
I know what you're saying. You're saying like you're mentally tougher, and then you also like the capability of the human body more, so you're not as much of a wimp.
Yeah, basically, and
that's important.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I think it builds character to not be as much of a wimp too, because
For sure.
you start realizing what's important for you in life. You start, you know, being able to be like, all right, I love to do this, so I'm gonna stick with this, and as long as I put in the right amount of work, I'm gonna get results back.
And also, if you do youth jiu-jitsu, you're not leaving with any bruises or anything like that.
No.
Just
not,
like
not
you're
at all.
grappling.
No, and I mean, what's the word? You might fall down, like in a kid's class or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
the football would be more dangerous.
No, football is way more dangerous. For
You never
kids.
wanted to play?
I got into the fighting too
Early.
Yeah, too early.
You would be a nasty
I
returner.
think so. Returner. I don't even know what position that is.
Like return a kickoff or a punt.
You just like catch it and then just sprint.
You don't watch the Pats?
I don't watch football.
What? You don't watch the Patriots?
No, like sometimes people are like, "Oh, it's a Super Bowl," and I'm like, "Is there gonna be food?" And they go, "Yeah."
Wow.
No,
So you don't
man.
watch any other sports?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Oh yeah, that'd be fire.
yeah.
I'm starving right now.
Yeah, me too.
What time is it? Oh, we're doing great, bro.
We're doing good. Yeah, I watch boxing. I watch wrestling. I watch combat sports.
You don't watch any like you have no like Red Sox Pats pride?
No.
You're really a lone wolf, bro.
Lone wolf.
That's wild.
No, I mean, baseball. I'm just like, oh,
This is boring.
It's
So,
super boring. Like there's no. Like I enjoy football more. I like baseball just because, you know, like I can appreciate what they do. I can appreciate the athleticism, and like being in that mix with all those, you know, 300-pound dudes, like, and being able to run that fast. That's not me.
Too much.
Too much. I think I'm too light, anyways, for football.
Yeah, but you'd be if you played. Where'd you go? Abington High.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have been filthy, like mass high school sports.
Yeah, but
Like, what could you run a 40-yard dash in right now?
I have no idea. I hate running.
I did too. Holy shit.
I did too, but I mean, I could sprint kind of fast.
I'm sure, bro.
Kind of fast.
In a cage fight, can you still like scale the wall and do a flying punch? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, you can do the running stuff.
Does it?
Like
Anyone ever? No, I mean
Superman
like
kick,
like
the
bounce off the
Superman
wall.
kick. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah,
It's pointless though, right?
Yeah, you close the distance the same amount, just being able to like turn your hips over the right way. So I mean, people still do it. It's flashy and it's cool, but
Could you moonsault, like do a backflip off the edge?
no, I don't think so.
That's WWE.
Yeah. You talking like run up the wall and flip that way? I mean,
Or like climb up on the top.
You can't climb it.
That would be fire.
I think I saw one fight where a guy's getting like triangle choked, and he goes, picks him up, and then tries to throw him over the edge of the ring.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and the ref did not like that.
Oh my god.
I mean, that'd be so cool though. Like
That would be fire.
Full toss around to the refs.
That'd be so demoralizing.
Oh, yeah, I'd hate that.
Holy
I'd
shit.
hate to get tossed over the ring.
Did you like WWE growing up? I feel like if you start fighting at 13, then it's like, yeah, this is fake shit.
You can see it's fake.
But hey, remember, you might turn into a WWE fighter one day.
Oh,
After
yeah,
your UFC career is done.
If they're paying me, I'll do it.
Well, Ronda Rousey did it. I think that was sick what she's done. Except I would love to see her fight again.
Yeah. Do you think she's good at the WWE stuff?
I think she's a good persona.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen her do it at all.
Yeah, bro, I love the WWE. Like, I think the business is sick. I like the way they market. Like, how many things they can market? Like, listen, what we're about to show you is fake as fuck, but you guys are gonna love
You're
it.
Gonna watch it, yeah.
That's so hard, dude.
That's like movies, though. Movies, the same thing.
Literally,
What we're gonna show you is
it's
fake.
watching a live movie.
Yeah.
With storylines,
Entertainment. That's what it is.
You know how that much effort that shit must take. I mean, she just started. What I'm assuming, she just caught a couple of L's and she was just like, I'm just gonna go for money.
She got exposed a little bit. She isn't that comfortable striking, and then now these girls are coming up with power in their hands.
Who beat her ass? Holly Holm?
Holly Holm head kicked her, and then Amanda Nunes put it on her. But then Amanda Nunes went out and knocked out Cyborg too, so it's like
Amanda Nunes is a beast.
Yeah, she's an animal. Like, she knocked Cyborg out.
Could you beat the shit out of Amanda Nunes?
I met her before, and she's like so like sweet and nice, but
I'm saying, like, is there any equivalent, like, to a male and a female fight?
I feel like there's some girls that are just a different breed. I think Amanda Nunes is definitely one of them. I think in general.
So it would be a good fight, you and Amanda Nunes.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Like, you versus Ronda Rousey. You think you can take Ronda?
Yeah. Travis Brown.
We'll set that up.
Yeah.
Set that up at the Encore.
WWE.
That'd be fire.
WWE fight. But yeah, no, I mean, there's always gonna be a difference in male and female sports. Though,
it's not even close, bro.
And like,
good for Dana White for creating entertainment value.
But I still feel bad saying that it's not the same though. Yeah.
Dudes are they're built to be more athletic.
Yeah, and like stronger,
faster. The speed's different.
And that's the thing though. Amanda Nunes, like, she's a beast, but she's still like built different.
Well, like Brittany Griner, like, she's a real, like, she defies shit.
Oh, who was that?
She was the center for Baylor women's basketball, and she's like 6'9", and she can jam.
6'9".
She's huge.
Tall girls.
Yeah.
That's 6'9".
You'd have to, like, climb up her and choke her.
She had to carry me around.
Yeah, in a backpack.
Little backpack.
Yeah.
See Ace Ventura? He's got the big giant.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
Jim Carrey's the GOAT.
The GOAT. How tall is Jim Carrey?
He's probably like 6 feet, I bet.
6 foot tall. Handsome.
Crazy entertainer. Okay.
Let's put him on the WWE.
Well, yeah, you should just, when your career's done, just start setting up celebrity fights.
Oh, I love celebrity fights.
I do too.
I want to see Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy Jake Paul or Soldier Boy Chris Brown.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see.
That would have been major.
That would have been great.
I would 100% bet on it.
Winner fights Amanda Nunes.
Okay, so this is Tarek says George St. Pierre connected all the disciplines. He was viewed as one of the GOATs.
Okay, yeah.
It's a very young sport, still in its infancy, and there are shifts in technique, and it's rapidly evolving. Jiu-jitsu is more dominant, like, it's more prevalent, and is now one of the most prevalent techniques. He wants to start fighting. What should he start with? What should his foundation be?
I think good foundation in wrestling.
You said wrestling, Tarek.
Yeah, wrestling's good. Jiu-jitsu's a good one to like, once you get your base, once you understand how to not get taken down, you get some good takedowns in you. Like, jiu-jitsu's what you're doing off your back, But being able to throw somebody down is going to be important for you to get those chokes, to get the submissions, all that.
So you're saying you should learn how to wrestle jiu-jitsu first?
Learn to wrestle. I mean, obviously, the best thing to do is just pick it all up at once. Go to a good MMA school around you.
Is there any here? South Shore Sports Fighting?
Yeah, but they're on the South Shore. It might be a little far. There's plenty of schools out here. You can just look them up, and then, the Florian, Redline, City of Tong.
City of Tong. Who's that? De La Grate?
Yeah, De La Grate's up here.
He's the GOAT, right? He's like...
No, he is. I thought you were going to say something.
Wasn't he was Dana White's business partner or something?
Yeah, so I always see him in Vegas. He's always working with, I think he does, like, the trucks or something back there.
Oh, word.
He's a good dude. He's cool.
Word. Tarek, hope that answers your question. Okay. David, we got that. So what's actually mad interesting to me is that the fact you said you never visualized, like, being in a UFC fight. That's
I mean,
it's just weird, bro. Because like I'm very focused, like, success focused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Like psychotically, like I really obsess over it. But it's, you know, I visualize shit all the time. As a pro athlete, like.
So it's gonna take a long time to get to the highest level of pro athlete. For MMA, it's the UFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it took, 10, 11 years of fighting people, and then, I had to beat all the guys I beat professionally, like, in a row. And if you like focus too much on the long term, it starts being like kind of disappointing when it's not happening fast enough, when you're not getting it. So I think it's best to just go,
Day by day.
Yeah, day by day, focus on your next fight. Like if you end up in the UFC, that's cool. If you don't, you're having fun doing what you're doing now. You're enjoying it. You're loving the sport for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be doing it if you just think you're gonna be in the UFC.
I feel you. What is your birth month?
July.
Word.
July.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
4 months.
Yeah, what's yours?
December.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a pretty fun birthday.
Was there any?
I got smacked.
By who?
No, I was shattered. Like.
Oh, I thought you got smacked.
I don't. No, well, when I say smacked, I mean by liquor.
Okay.
Got bodied.
Okay, you got bodied.
Got choked.
Got triangled.
Exactly. There's so you can drink fine and no hangover, no bounce back, anything like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
impressive, bro.
heart of a lion.
Let's go.
Heart of a lion.
The Bermudez Lion.
Smacked.
Oh wait, I came up with a nickname in my head for you. How about Manny-Hands?
Manny-Hands. I like that. That's the first time I heard of that one.
Manny-Hands.
Manny.
Or Manny the Annihilator.
Annihilator. Everyone always has the same tough guy nicknames, though.
Bone Cruncher.
Yeah, it's always like Assassin.
Yeah, the Assassin would be beat. Benito Lopez was the Golden Boy, right?
Yeah.
That's mad unoriginal.
I don't even know the reference. Is it like Oscar De La Hoya?
I got no clue. I thought, didn't he have dyed hair gold?
Oh, yeah. But does that make you the Golden Boy?
Don't ask me, man. You beat his ass. I don't know.
If only half your hair is golden, you're the half golden.
You're the golden deer. Whoa.
Oh, look at that. Plug.
There was a... Is it ever awkward after a fight when you beat a dude's ass? Like...
Yeah, sometimes.
It's weird. Is it weird?
It's because they're disappointed and I'm not.
But you're also like you're a show, like... You show mutual respect, right? Kind of.
Yeah, but so it's awkward because it's like I'm at like the high of, like I just won this. This is awesome. And he's at the low of like, wow,
my career might be in jeopardy.
Yeah, I just lost. This is terrible. I was gonna ask you actually, what's the meaning of the deer? Like, why'd you pick a deer?
So when I was with Adam at Providence College, I started doing YouTube comedy sketches under the alias Coach Connie. And YouTubers at the time, this is like 3-4 years ago, traditionally had end cards, like pops up like subscribe, like.
Okay, yeah.
So me and my friend were thinking like, hey, let's come up with a logo. So I grew up in Lincoln on Deer Haven Road.
Oh, okay.
And then I also, at Providence, we grew up, our freshman year floor was called The Barn, and we all had our own animals. And I was like the flamboyant pony that was always doing weird shit, right?
Okay, yeah. See that.
So we were choosing between a pony and a deer, me and my boy. And we were mulling it over for like 2 weeks. And I'm editing a video at like 4 a.m, and I'm coming back on the highway, and I just shatter a deer full speed on the highway.
So you had to pick the deer.
And I tell everybody that deer lived. But in all honesty, that thing's dead as hell, man. There's blood everywhere. And everyone wears them on their chest.
Oh my
That's
God.
where it came from, man.
Well, what were these sketches you were doing?
I'll show you some videos after it.
Well, we'll do some sketches.
Well, that's another thing, bro. Have you ever thought of like, you want to grow your Instagram and shit? I know like all these I'll talk with you after about this, but I know everyone with pretty large internet followings in Boston.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Manny the comedian.
Manny the comedian.
Manny-Hands the
like
comedian.
Slapstick comedy.
Oh yeah. So we had a history MMA, blah blah blah. We talked about that. Shit. I think we got most shit. Is there anything you want me to talk about?
No,
I'm gonna cut you a bunch of clips after this.
all right.
So if you want to do a little promo.
Hell yeah, we'll do a little promo.
What are your DMs looking like right now? You-
I got some funny ones. I got one that was like,
Thanks for responding to mine, bro. I'm a good dude.
Yeah. Like I said, you knew Adam, right?
Yeah.
So you got to connect. There was one. This kid was like, "Oh, Manny, you're the greatest. You're the best. I'm a big fan." And then
dick pic.
Oh, and then I missed weight, and then he was like, "You're such a fucking fool. Like, how could you miss weight? You fucking idiot. I hate you." And then I won the fight, and then he was like, "Oh, Manny, you're so beautiful." And I was just like,
What the fuck?
I didn't respond to any of them, but it was just like,
How bad did you miss the weight cut?
4 pounds.
That's pretty heavy, right?
That's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
And I think we talked about it briefly, but going into the weight cut, where you're like, "Fuck, I'm definitely not making weight."
Well, it's always a tough weight cut, but I didn't think I wasn't gonna make the weight. I thought I was gonna be able to squeeze through it, but so in Germany I cut 15 pounds in a day.
Oh,
and
what'd you just fucking stick yourself in a sauna?
Yeah, basically, but I didn't feel too bad doing it though. Was the thing, like it just came off, and then this time we need to go do the same thing, and then it was just like I only cut 11. I only got 12 off, and then I had 4 more to go, and I was just like dying.
How do you do that? Just like put mad layers on yourself, stick yourself in a sauna.
You just break a sweat, and get in the sauna, and then cover yourself up in layers.
Oh,
yeah, it's fun.
You'll have discipline the rest of your life, though.
It's just fun. What's that?
You'll have discipline forever now.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, there's other ways to get discipline, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Stick yourself in the sauna for 8 hours.
So, all right. So let's talk like me and you are on some boss shit, right? In like 8 years, me and you talk, right?
We're talking.
Or 10 years. Where do you want to be positioned in terms of fighting?
I still want to be doing it, obviously.
And you can fight till like you're 40.
Yeah, you can fight till whenever your body tells you no.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to have a good, successful career with it. It doesn't necessarily, I'm still young. I can fight for years and years still. I haven't had any like big injuries or nothing like that. So it's not, I haven't had any wars, nothing too crazy. So hopefully I get the best out of my career for the next decade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can
make a title run.
Make a title.
Sure, that's
run.
on your mind, right?
Oh yeah, always is. Just make big boy money.
Money's big.
Big boy money.
Adam said he got called into his job. That's why he disappeared.
I was gonna say, yeah,
he was out. He's been out.
He snuck out and then just.
I'll show you when we wrap. I'll show you the rest of the studio too.
Okay. That's
cool.
Yeah, what's going on here?
There's a lot of shit going on, bro. This place is nuts.
That's good.
If you ever need to do get studio time for whatever reason, we can get you hooked up here.
All right, cool.
Let's find it. Yeah. So do you? One last question. Do you feel an obligation that you're kind of like a gatekeeper in mass now? Like you feel an obligation to kind of like put on other people? You're still so fucking young, bro. We're young as fuck.
No, I mean,
you're just living, bro.
I'm trying to handle my stuff too, but no, I mean, I like seeing everybody succeed around me. I think everybody's, as long as you put the work in, as long as you're, doing everything right, we can all be successful. You'll
open a gym eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, I want to.
In Boston or?
No idea yet. I gotta see where they don't have a gym and where people are gonna be showing up and all that.
Facts.
It's one of the cool things though.
Seaport, man.
Seaport, but it's a different kind of person though. Like going through Seaport.
But they got that bag in Seaport,
they got
bro.
That bag. So that'd be one of those. I think they just opened up and everybody fights up there.
Yeah, so my guy Foreman.
Different kind of gym though, it's not like a fight gym. It's not like a fight.
It's like a trendy fight gym.
Yeah, it's a commercialized gym. So that's the kind of gym that would work well in a Seaport.
The aesthetic's beautiful. Yeah, you've been in there?
No, I've seen pictures and videos of it though.
The aesthetic is beautiful.
It's a beautiful place. Kind of, but that's George Foreman money though.
Yeah. Well, no, he actually interestingly his dad never gave him an investment.
Really?
He started that shit on his own.
So didn't George Foreman Sr. didn't he have like
all his kids were named George?
Yeah, okay.
And his daughter was Georgia or Georgina.
Georgina.
That's that.
No, it's smart because
I'm sure Foreman will probably come on the show eventually, so I'll ask him about it.
It's smart because now like all his kids have that name, and then like, oh, you're George Foreman. Like, yeah, that's my dad.
That's me. The grills.
Whatever happened to those? They still have them?
Yeah, it like sucks the life out of your meat.
Really?
Pause, but
Oh,
yeah.
no. Oh, yeah.
They're effective as fuck.
Yeah, that's sucking the life out of your meat.
Bam.
Bam.
All right, so this is how we start and end the show.
All right.
You say, hi, your name, and this is my golden hour. Directly after, hi, your name, and that was my golden hour. And you address the camera, and we do it all at once.
You got
Only supposed to tell you once, man.
Hi, my name. This is Golden Hour.
Hi, I'm blank, and
Hi,
this is my golden hour, because I'm going to put this at the front. Then, hi, your name, and that was my golden hour.
Hi, I'm Manny Bermudez.
You got it, man. You take it away.
Hi, Manny Bermudez. This is Golden Hour.
That was terrible, bro. Hi, I'm Manny Bermudez, and this was my golden hour. And then, hi, I'm Manny Bermudez, and that was. And I fight for the UFC, and I'm looking for a shorty.
It is or it was? Yeah, I'm looking for a shorty. Looking for 3 of them. So, hi. My name is Manny Bermudez. This is my golden hour. Okay.
This is my golden hour.
This is my golden hour.
Yes.
Or was.
This is, right?
Okay.
So you finished that.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know I'm just fucking with you at this point, right?
All right, you got it, bro.
Hi. Okay. Hi, my name is Manny Bermudez, and this is my golden hour.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, I know. You want me to do it?
Then that was.
Okay. Hi, my name is Manny Bermudez, and this was my golden hour.
That was. You fucked up.
That was. I did fuck up. Damn.
Dude, I'll show you. Everyone fucks it up. It's hilarious.
We had to do these for Fox Sports all the time. So,
And it was just like,
you just rattle them off, and you get them all confused.
why? What would you be saying for Fox?
I mean, I used to do them for Fox back when they had that contract with Fox. But
I know, but like, what would you be saying? Like, hey, I'm Manny Bermudez. I'm fighting.
Hi, I'm Manny Bermudez. Tune in on whatever network to watch me fight, and then like, hi, my name is Manny Bermudez, and tune into a slightly different network.
Yeah. That means
the
the show's going in the right direction. Nice.
Yeah, of course. So this was my golden hour.
Hi, this is.
This is Manny Bermudez, and that was my golden hour.
Got it.
Hi, this is Manny Bermudez, and that was my golden hour.
And on the third try, he got it. Thanks for coming, bro.
Let's get it.
Oh, you dead ass?
I missed it.
We dap up over here, bro.